About the attendance. Well, what do you think don't you think the attendance gets hurt when you have games in early April when it's 35 degrees outside and a mist in the air and there's 5,000 people in a building that probably would have 40 if it was a nice day? Like, so it balances itself out. So even though you might look at I can't get the same attendance on a straight doubleheader, but you're still going to end up at the end of the day, I think, having better attendance because there's so many games in the Northeast, Michael, that are played. They got to be played. It's the last time the team's in that building, and there's no one there because of that, or the makeup of a rain out, no one's there because it's in the afternoon and nobody comes. But I think the attendance would be better.
The attendance would be better, but they have a certain number they have to hit according to get their money from the RSNs and to get from national TV. It's all based on money. People are like saying, I wonder why they can't. You don't wonder. You know why. SNY has to get a certain amount of games from the Mets. Yes has to get a certain amount of games from the Yankees. All RSNs are owed a certain amount of games. All of a sudden, you're just going to cut the games down because of it. If nobody went to Major League Baseball games, they'd still make money. Same thing with football.
Right.
It's a television product. They could play these games in studios. I don't know why I'm so angry today.
Yes, there's a little bite to you today.
Because I love when people are just outraged about things they know that there's nothing to be outraged about.
Well, but I also think that, it's money. Okay, I get there's money, but these are supposed to be brilliant people that are running these sports and running these unions. You could still work out something where you could still make money, but make it better overall. Instead of just saying, well, it's make us more money, and then it doesn't matter. Can't you put something together? Can't you consolidate the schedule and still find a way by consolidating it to actually make more money than you did before?
You would think that it would be out there, but these are smart men, and they haven't been able to figure it out. 1-800.
Maybe we're giving them too much credit.
1-800-919-3776. That is the number. We're here to talk with you. Aaron Boone at 4 o'clock. Steve Young at 5. We're on till 7. It's Kayla Greco-Rosenberg and you on Yes. You can listen on the ESPN app and also 98.7 ESPN.
Feeling like ice cold lemonade. Nowhere to go when you're in the shade. Nowhere to go when you're in the cage. Sometimes life tastes bittersweet. Feeling like ice cold lemonade. Nowhere to go when you're in the shade. Nowhere to go when you're in the cage. Feeling like summertime in the shade.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the Integra.
With Home Chef, you're home free when you're craving a home-cooked meal. Our oven-ready meal kits are easy to make and even easier to love. When it comes to making dinner, fill in the blanks with Home Chef. Delicious, meat simple.
Get 16 free meals when you sign up at homechef.com.
At DraftKings Casino, we give credit where credit is due, in the form of credit. Sign up with DraftKings Casino and get up to $50 in free credits when you deposit $25. That's like extra credit. Download the DraftKings Casino app or play online today. Deposit $25 and get up to $50 in free credits to use on any game. Now, roll credits.
High school football is now on the Yes app as the best teams in New York battle on the gridiron. Catch the action tomorrow at 7, streaming live on the Yes app. The Yankees Division Series continues, and Yes is your home field advantage with extensive coverage from the network that knows the Bombers best. Pre-game, post-game, around every game.
11 wins seals the deal.
ALDS Game 2 pregame starts tomorrow at noon on Yes and the Yes app.
Dear humans, this is an adoption campaign, but it's not for me or Mr. Buttons or Frank over there. It's for you, humans. This is a call to humans to adopt our movement, to adopt our cause.
This isn't just about saving one of us.
It's about saving all of us.
Thousands of lives. every single day.
It's about support for every one of us and sometimes not four-legged best friends waiting to meet a best friend of our own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge.
Shelter by shelter. City by city.
We can save thousands of pets each day. Join us. Together we can save them all.
We know y'all can cook real good, but sometimes a fam just wants Popeyes for dinner. So get the 11-piece box that everyone can enjoy. And for this Thanksgiving, don't forget to pick up the Popeyes Cajun Turkey while you can.
Aaron Judge has set the New York Yankees single-season home run record. Celebrate this historic moment with this commemorative limited edition bat and ball with the official Aaron Judge logo. Call now or go to fanatics.com/Judge62 to order. This exclusive limited edition Aaron Judge logo bat and ball will be yours to cherish for a lifetime, honoring Aaron Judge in this historic moment in Yankees history. Go online or call 888-720-4036. That's 888-720-4036.
With Drizzly, I can shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor. I just open the app, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes. Drizzly also lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
Kyrie Irving. First bucket of his Nets career. Irving for the lead. Oh, yeah! Splash! Kyrie Irving. Irving on a switch. He's got Grant. Irving. Oh, no. Oh, yes! The handles and the range for Kyrie Irving. He is putting on a show. A dazzling debut. Kyrie Irving has become the 7th Net to score 50 points in a game in franchise history.
Get trending with off-field fashion.
Whoa, now that is a fly outfit.
As some of the best designers from FIT style celebrities from the sports world and beyond. Stream off-field fashion exclusively on the S app.
With your DraftKings Sportsbook betting update powered by VSiN, I'm Ben Wilson. As we take a look at the latest odds to win the College Football National Championship, it's not the #1 team in the country who's favored to win it all. It's Ohio State, currently plus 180 favorites, as the Buckeyes set to host the Iowa Hawkeyes at home this week. The #1 team on the AP poll, Georgia, currently sits at plus 220 as big favorites this week with a home date against Vanderbilt. Meanwhile, Alabama, after another close call in a win last week against Texas A&M, they're plus 260 on the odds board, still ranked 3rd in the AP poll, with a challenging road date at 6th-ranked Tennessee. Then it's Clemson, 12-1 and 4th in the AP poll, who have to go to Tallahassee to take on the improved Florida State Seminoles, while USC and Michigan each sit at 20-1. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And this week, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in free bets if your money line bet wins. Download the app and use code YES when you sign up.
Music from the YES Network. No Yankee game today. Yankees-Guardians game 2 tomorrow. 1:07 start at the stadium.
Not what you want.
No, and then they have no travel day to get to Cleveland. Woo, it's an hour-and-a-half flight. I don't know how they're going to do it. Now, I know what John's saying. Seattle, New York, that's going to be a bear without a day off. That is. I'm not going to lie. But Seattle is not Cleveland. Cleveland, New York is a short flight. They could have played the game at night and got in a decent hour. They could have.
I will be chartering to Winnipeg after the game.
You're chartering after the game today, right, Don?
That's right.
Where are you going then?
To Winnipeg.
Winnipeg.
We should we charter flight Don. That's my favorite kind of Don. Oh, it's my favorite too. Nothing beats a nice charter. Michael will tell you. I know.
You know
I don't know what it's like.
I got to tell you, Don, this is going to sound crazy. I prefer a first-class commercial ticket than charter. Now, charter's time is very, you can fly at any time of the night. But in terms of comfort,
why do you prefer?
Because in terms of comfort, I'm a first-class seat in a commercial flight. I mean, the players, as they should, they have the most comfort on a charter flight.
Well, all I know is I'm very comfortable in my Ranger charter seat, sitting next to Sam.
You ever fall asleep with your head on Sam's shoulder?
No, he's fallen asleep. He's fallen asleep on mine.
He has,
but I've never fallen asleep on his.
Interesting.
No, it's just Peter knows, and again, it's a first world problem. I get it, but just to not have the whole delays and having to go through all of the things that you have to commercially, where they constantly remind you how you could die. On the charters, it's like, just get in and we're going.
I feel like if Sam Rosen was asleep on you, Michael, the second he wakes up, he just immediately starts calling like a Saints-Bears game. That's third down.
Now, Peter, would you?
And here comes Jay Cutler.
You could make the case that Sam was the original caller of Thursday night-esque games.
Oh my! He owned the Thursday nighter on Sunday.
Now, Peter, would you chip in $100 with me, and we'll give Don $200 to take a selfie of Sam sleeping on his shoulder?
I would really like that. That would be that post would go crazy.
But see, that's the thing. You can't post things like that.
Well, just for our amusement, can we do it?
Why? Michael did it. Michael had one posted like that.
Yeah, I did myself. It still uses a meme or a meme. Let's go to the phones.
Yes.
Let's go to Mike in West Caldwell. Mike.
Guys, 1 o'clock start, actually, I don't mind it tomorrow. I think there should be more day playoff baseball. They've been selling out kids for years. That's why, kids today can't watch a whole game because they're never up to watch the one they want. But that's not why I called. Well, how about when you used to run home and catch, a bulk of the game? If it's 1 o'clock start, by the time you get home, you're catching some. It happened before. I mean, that's not why I call, but, I'm worried about a little bit, not worried, but what if, after a rain out, you don't get those big crowds. I know people being as playoffs are going to try to get there, but to have like a sporadically empty Yankee Stadium, it's not a good visual and not good for the home team. So during the day, if the game, Mike, leads itself to nudity, you got a lot of light in the house. It's not really,
That's a great, Mike. Mike, that's the best point that you made. I mean, it's hard to be nude in the day. It really is. Nude to me is a nighttime thing.
Now, I know there have been day Yankee postseason games when Zimmer was thrown down by Pedro. That was an afternoon game, but that was a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time the Yankees played a postseason game at home during the week in the afternoon?
I'd have to look it up, obviously, but I don't think it's that long ago. I mean, obviously networks want the Yankees at night, but every now and then they do get to play in the afternoon, so we'll check it out. And I would be very, very surprised if the place is full tomorrow. I think it's going to be sold out because all the tickets that came to are sold out. But you look at the secondary market right now, you can get tickets very, very inexpensive for tomorrow, which leads you to believe that a lot of people aren't going to be able to go.
The Jeffrey Mayer game was a 4:30 Yankee playoff vehicle.
Oh, that was? Well,
really?
Well, Jeffrey interfered with the ball. It was nighttime already.
Correct. It was 7 o'clock or whatever.
But was that the weekend though, or during?
No, it was a weekday. It was a weekday at 4:30.
Really?
Yeah.
God, because my recollection of that game is obviously that moment, and clearly it was a night. Oh, listen, you get a Yankee-Oriole game. They talk about Yankee Red Sox. Peter, you get a Yankee-Oriole game back in the 90s, 4-hour minimum. Michael will tell you he called them, right?
Yeah, they were blessed. Let's go to Steve.
I love this. Is such an interesting Michael today. We have no idea what's.
I love it.
We have
you don't know what he's going to say.
Steve in East Northport. Steve.
Hi guys, how are you?
Great. How you doing?
I'm curious as to why. I'm good. I'd be interested in your answer. I'm curious as to why Aaron Boone pulled Aaron Judge out of the last 2 games of this season when he's chasing his Triple Crown. How do you justify that?
Well, they both said that we should. It was the last game, just the last game. He came out.
No, but I think he pulled him out in the second inning of the next.
Yeah,
one more at bat after the homer.
He got one more at bat, and then they took him out.
Yeah.
It was. Believe me,
so
Steve.
They would have 6 more at bats.
But he wasn't going to win the Triple Crown because Arise wasn't playing, and he was up by 6 points. So There was no chance to catch him, and he would have never taken him out, Steve, unless Judge said, I'm cool with it. He actually asked Judge, you want to play tomorrow or not? And Judge said, I'm good. I mean, he tried to rest him a couple of times, and Judge said, no, I want to play. I mean, Aaron Boone adores Aaron Judge. There's no disrespect there.
Listen, I understand a Triple Crown special. It doesn't happen all the time. But God forbid, Michael, if he got hit in the hand the way Marte did and missed a month and missed the playoffs, people will be screaming, why is he in a meaningless game? He had played so many consecutive games to get the record. I mean, Michael, you could make the case that maybe was Boone wrong to even bat him after he had hit the home run?
Well, maybe just to get one more.
Right, that's what I thought. But still, you're tempting fate, right? The game's meaningless. Do you really want to have your best player by far get hurt in a meaningless moment? No. And Aaron did the right thing. He asked him. He asked Judge. Judge said no, and that's what Aaron's supposed to do.
2019 Game 3, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Yankees. So it wasn't that long ago.
Okay, it just felt odd.
What do you mean it felt odd?
No, just afternoon. But maybe because of 4, like Peter said, by the time the game gets going, it's dark. Definitely 1 o'clock, so probably not since the 60s, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I think Mazeroski hit that ball in the afternoon, right?
That
was Game 7.
That's right. That is when men were men.
I get what the caller's saying about kids and like day games and stuff, but like during the week, that stunk as a kid.
Well, if you start the games at 4, you can get the kids the game.
Yeah, absolutely. But like 1 o'clock games, and listen, it was fun wheeling the TV in to see things if you got a cool teacher. But I hated missing stuff when I was stuck at school and there were meaningful games being played.
All right, so Callie just got back from school.
Okay.
And she handed me Mr. Bruni's pick, so we'll give you them early.
Oh, wow.
He came up, there was a parent-teacher thing yesterday. He said, boy, Don's really jumping me. Everybody's calling me and saying Don's jumping me. I said, that's how he is.
Well, you in or you out? I mean, Peter, is that jumping? We were nice enough to take his picks. I will not stand for it. And put them on the air. Not everybody gets that chance to do that.
And to be in Jarvis' chart, too.
Right, and for him to miss, that's a bad job. I'm sorry.
All right, Bruni's picks: Rams -10, Falcons +5.5, Colts -2. Remember last week, Mr. Bruni lost 2 out of 3.
Well, so did all of us.
Yeah, but I picked the 3-pointer right. Thank you, Cal. That was very nice of you.
All right, now we've got a rhythm here. It shouldn't happen again, right?
I hope not.
We have assurances.
I hope not. Let's go to Dominic in Brooklyn. Dominic.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Good.
Two questions. One is logistical. I just need, because you guys touched on it, I just need you to explain to me because I don't know any better. And the second is more emotional and personal, even, if they're in a word. So the first question is, I know Don specifically said it was good they announced it so early, the cancellation, but why is that? Because I'm not to be that guy. It probably will rain today, but I'm here in Brooklyn, and it's drizzled. So, and I went to the last home game of the season, and it was, I know that's quite different stakes, but it was just about pouring, and they didn't even bring out the tarp or anything. So that's the logistical question. The emotional question is when you can get to it, Michael, why so hot? Simmer down.
Yeah.
Coming in hot.
Very, very
Dominic, I don't know. See, I'll answer the second question first. I don't know. There's a burr under my saddle today. I'm not quite sure why. I'm not feeling as happy as I did yesterday and carefree. So I can't give you an answer. As Don said, it's more of a reason to stay tuned. Because I could say stuff that could end the show quickly.
Yeah, we saw it at the end of the fall.
Bird. You want to bite the head off? Sure.
And it was Peter and I that went at each other during the meeting.
Yeah.
That's right.
But we got over it. We text back and forth. It's fine.
Can I tell you one thing, Don? Without lifting the curtain way up, Peter was 1,000% right, and you were 1,000% wrong.
Wow. Thank you.
And I didn't want to, because I'm so sick of these meetings, I just tune out. But I'm listening.
We know.
I'm listening to what's being said, and it was outrageous what you did to him. Outrageous.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Ask Mom, Cal.
I appreciate your defense.
All right, then do it.
What's happening?
She wants to know if she could use her PS5.
I'll let the show get away.
I said they can use it. Go. Go.
Good.
Wow.
Ask somebody that's not on the air.
Now, what was the other question? Oh, because the rain forecast for tonight is 100% rain starting at 7. Now, that's unfair to teams. So you can't burn Bieber and Cortez. Let's say they start, and it's not raining in the first inning, and it pours. You've used your starter. Then that's a bad thing for the teams. Calling it early today is a great thing for fans.
Yeah, of course.
Why would you want them to wait until 6 o'clock, have people drive, pay $50 for parking, and then eat and spend money on concessions and then not have a game? And they're being fair to the fans.
I know you run the small percentage chance. It does happen where it ends up not raining and you look foolish. But overwhelmingly, the time is that people now paid for parking. They go to the game. People come from great distances, especially in the playoffs. They're an hour or two in the car, and then they call the game. It's the right thing to do. The earlier, the better, for sure. And if you take, but we've been looking at it for a couple of days, Michael. That would not be a game that you'd be able to A, finish or even start, and B, do you really want a meaningful game played in that kind of compromised situation? You don't want you have a 2-hour rain delay after 2 innings, and now the starting pitchers can't go.
Don, I've been looking at my Doppler all day, and it's supposed to rain all night.
Yeah, just one of those days, and it stinks, and it's bad for baseball, but it's not their fault that yesterday was gorgeous.
Isn't it unbelievable though? If they didn't call it, and they waited until 6 o'clock, then people would be outraged that they did that. They call it at 1 o'clock. Oh. And there are some people that are wondering why they call it so. Here's what I should actually teach myself, too. There's no way you can make everybody happy. There's just no way. Well, one decision will anger somebody, even if it makes 11 people happy. And another decision will make 11 people happy and anger the other person. You're never going to be 100%, Don. You just can't bat 100.
You try to do its best for the majority. So there's always going to be a percentage that's going to be disappointed. Just play the lowest percentage. That's all. Right? So the lower percentage is unhappy. You can live with that. You're not going to make everybody happy. You can't do it.
Can't do it. Won't do it. Coming up on November 18th, everybody will be happy. Michael K. Show is celebrating 20 years on ESPN New York with a live broadcast and after party at the Palladium in Times Square. And then after the after party, 3 of us go on a bar crawl with all of you. We're going to have special guests, giveaways, and much more. I want to know what much more means. That's what I'd like to know. Tickets go on sale Monday, October 17th at 4 p.m. Now, for more information, please head over to kshow20.com, 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 and we hope to see you there. And we hope to talk to you in just a moment. When we get back, Aaron Boone's at 4 o'clock here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
Get in on the action with Prize Picks. Simply pick 2 or more players to win up to 10 times your money. How do you feel?
10 times my money? Woohoo! I can't wait.
Join over 1 million people who found a better way to play. Prize Picks is available in your state. Download the app today and get your first deposit matched up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy.
Square can help you start selling online with tools that connect the dots for you. Sign up at square.com and start selling right away. You can set up a free website or add buy now buttons to your existing site. And with delivery, pickup, and shipping built in, you can get orders out fast. Go to square.com now to start using the most free tools out there and sell online with all the dots connected. Get started free at square.com.
I'm so very proud to be an Acorns investor.
It's an app. You invest your change, and you have people micro-investing. That's a way to get people more comfortable investing.
Acorns is a company that helps families like the way I grew up with a single mother who had 2 jobs, is help the 99% invest their money over time.
You know how
how our underarms aren't the only place we have odor? That's why I created Lumi. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the founder of the world's first outrageously effective and seriously safe odor control product for anywhere on your body. It's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours, and unlike other products that mask or cover up odor, Lumi actually stops bacteria from creating odor in the first place. And there's never been a better way to get started with the Lumi Starter Pack. Check us out and give Lumi a try today.
You can't do this. You can't do this. But you can. You can, because you did. If you can handle motherhood, you can handle anything.
Go where today takes you, with the one bag for all the roles you play. The Kuyana System Tote. Smart, customizable. The bag that evolves with you, so you can be who you are. Anywhere, anytime, any moment. Fewer, better, every day. Kuyana.
Why you worry about the little things? It's the big that's gonna kill you anyway. Blow your problems up and smoke the pain. And blow out all the booze. Blow out all the booze.
Welcome back, everyone, and let's find our fit. Those hips are moving naturally. Must be the pants. Find the fit. Trust the stretch. Who wears the pants? You wear the pants. Only 3 more hours and then a break.
Take control of your health by boosting your force field, the immune system. With the Aura Ring, you can listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring. Aura.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Ali Melendez. Join me for a brand new series, Well Life NYC, exclusively on the Yes app. We're taking a wellness journey to explore what New Yorkers are doing to be their happiest and healthiest selves. From workout classes, I feel good, I feel set up for success, to relaxation, to finding the proper balance. So fresh. Let's get well, New York. I am so excited to get into this. Let's do it. Woo! Stream new episodes of Well Life NYC now on the Yes app.
Now we're tied at 5 as we go to the bottom of the 11th. Here's Aaron Boone to lead off.
His first at-bat of the game. There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run. The Yankees go to the World Series for the 39th time in their remarkable history.
Didn't sleep well last night, so I was doing some sketching, right? And I'm trying to figure out how you could get every single ballpark to have temporary covering. And I started to think about the tents that they have, like for circuses. You've been to that circus in New York. What's the name of that circus, Don?
The Big Apple
Circus, where they have this big top, right? That's outside, and it's humongous. So why can't you do that for the size of a stadium and just put a canvas roof up to stop the rain? It won't stop the cold, but it would stop the rain.
Did you ever go to Olympic Stadium in Montreal?
Yes, I did.
So you know that that's kind of what they did.
Right.
How they domed that. It was, Peter, was like a big arm that came out of like outside the stadium, and the roof kind of just hung there like a parachute.
Wow.
And then when it would rain, or they knew they were going to have to close it, they would lower it down. Now, they did have some problems when there would be a lot of snow and it would collapse and all that, but they made it work. And if you can now, it was a perfectly round stadium, so that made it easier.
But the roof got stuck. It never was open because it got stuck. It's still stuck.
Right, but the original plan was it was going to go up and down.
But I don't even. You don't want it hanging over the ballpark. I'm just saying, like you do with drapes, just like put that thing on when it's about to rain. I know it's not like beautiful in terms of aesthetic electronics, but the bottom line is it would work. It would stop the rain.
That's all I'm saying is that, and it's not out of laziness. I think it's out of arrogance. That this is just the way that it is. This is the way life is, and the fans will just have to adjust. But if there's so many smart people out there, if they just put their mind to it, I'm sure they could figure out some way to make it work.
Where it doesn't have to cost $450 million.
If you had something like where a retractable, I can understand the technology, but that would make that expensive to do. But can you figure something else out?
You would think you could.
Like, I understand the Big Apple Circus is not nearly the size of a stadium, but if you can get some, geniuses from MIT, they might be able to figure something out.
I think the three of us could work it out. Just have a pulley, some strings, whatever. Boom, the stadium's covered. And you wouldn't have to use it that often. Let's go to Colum in the Bronx. Colum, what's up?
Oh, what's going on, Donald, Peter, and Mike? How we doing?
All good.
Hey.
So, just really quick about the Yankees. I feel bad for a couple of members of my family. They were planning on going to the game, and a couple of them can't make it to the Sunday game. I mean, they offered me the tickets, but I also have to work. So it's just unfortunate that they don't allow refunding if someone is unable to make the game. That's the big issue with the Yankees. But another point that I wanted to say with the whole Zack Snyder situation.
Dan Snyder.
I really, really hope this. Dan Snyder, sorry. Zack Snyder's a director.
Close enough.
Yeah. I really hope this happens and this whole thing blows up. Like, really lift it up and show it to me, what's going on with everything in the NFL. That would be phenomenal.
It'd be great, but here's the problem, Kyle. Here's the problem. I hope you don't mind me calling you Kyle, but they've all got dirt. They've all got filth.
Oh.
And that's why Snyder has a position of power here. He has all the filth. So if he's going to go down, he's going to just unleash everything. It's going to be like that scene in Ghost when all those little things come out in the subway. That's what it's going to be like. These guys are wetting their pants because all the stuff that Snyder has supposedly done, Peter, everything he's done would warrant that he gets thrown out of the NFL, forced to sell his team. But only those other 32 men can, not Goodell, only those other 31 men could force him to do that. And the reason they don't force a guy like that to do that is because he's got something on everybody.
Well, the question is, at a certain point, are they going to call his bluff?
I don't think it's a bluff.
They need 24 owners. They don't need all of them.
Right.
They need 24 to get him out. So are there 24 that say, hey, we're not among the ones he has dirt on. We want him out of here. And if he ends up pulling the card on these other guys who stink, okay, but we're good. I think it's supposedly 6 that he really has stuff on if it's true.
Right.
So you wonder if the other 24 have had enough. I mean, one of the standout points of the article that I was like, wow, was someone said that Snyder compared the league to the mafia and that all the owners hate each other. One veteran owner said they don't hate each other, they all hate Snyder.
Right, but if the 24 he doesn't have dirt on decide to get him out, Snyder could still go after the other 6, and I'm sure the other 24 have relationships with the other 6 or 7, right? So,
and no one wants the mess.
And nobody wants a mess. If it was just one guy, they'd probably be able to deal with it, but he probably has multiple owners that are very, very important, a.k.a. Jerry Jones, and the Cowboys are important. And I would think they'll do whatever they have to do to make sure that nothing comes out.
And also, of all the stuff like he's been collecting, there's innuendo in the story that his people leaked out the stuff that got John Gruden fired and got Bruce Allen in trouble. You know, the racial epithets hurled back and forth in emails and what Gruden said about everybody. I mean, so that maybe that was just, he just lifted the Pandora's box up a little and said, look what I have and look what I can do. You know what else struck me, Peter? Guy's on the team, what, 21 years? 22 years.
2000?
He's 57. He was a baby when he bought the team. And how does Paul Tagliabue look? The commissioner at the time said, Dan Snyder is the perfect person.
That was the quote, Don.
Yeah.
Perfect
He's
person.
the perfect person.
And they said that in 2002. At that point, he's been there 2 years, guys. He's 36 years old. He got up at the autumn meetings and basically tried to bully everyone into giving FedEx Field a Super Bowl in 2008. Arizona had just built a stadium, and he thought the approach was to rip the Bidwills who own Arizona and are beloved. So in his first ever attempt to get anything done, he ripped another established owner, and everyone basically got the message, this guy's a weirdo. That on top of being standoffish, socially weird, just not a good dude.
Not accepting cookies.
Doesn't want cookies from Michael Kay. A lot of things to worry about.
One thing we don't have to worry about, Thursday, 4 o'clock, we get to talk to the manager of the Yankees. Now, he is not talking to anybody today because Yankee Stadium was closed. So no availability with Francona or Boone, but you get them now. Well, not now, in about a minute, right here on the K Show on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
No, I can't wake him up. So it's Instacart to the rescue for my new rescue. Okay, he'll need some FOOD. Oh, and some gear for WALKs. Wow, everything he needs without leaving the house. What a treat. Oh, no, I didn't mean... Okay, fine. When you want to give your new pet the world is your CART. Visit instacart.com or download the app and get free delivery on your first order.
Yeah. Cool. You know what, man? I'm just going to keep this between you and me. It's not a secret, Bob.
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours. It's more fun that way.
Tired of food storage containers that clutter up your fridge and cabinets?
Fed up with cling wrap and foil that doesn't keep your food fresh?
Well, now you can go ahead and forget about it. George and Mary Beth here with another incredible invention.
Skinny Stacks, the all-new tray storage system that keeps your food fresher longer. So you simply put your food in the tray and snap, it's closed.
Then set the freshness tracker. Now, stale, dried-up food is a thing of the past.
And freezer burn?
Forget about it.
Look, ordinary containers, foil, or cling wrap allows air to get inside and spoil your food. But the unique silicone cover on the Skinny Stacks stretches to fit over your food, pushing air out and locking in freshness with an airtight seal. You can really see the difference. This super stretchy silicone lid stretches to fit virtually any kind of food, like these avocados.
And this thick-cut watermelon. And how about this huge grapefruit?
How about this entire chicken? And the stackable design lets you neatly store just about anything. Take your fridge from this to this.
Use Skinny Stacks to take your snacks and foods to parties.
Just remove the lid and serve from the tray. It's perfect for taking meat from the fridge straight to the grill the easy way.
And the see-through lid makes it easy to see what's inside.
Plus, the tray is microwave safe. And cleanup's a breeze because they're dishwasher safe.
Skinny Stack's stackable design will save you space in your fridge and cabinets.
Keep your food fresh the easy way with Skinny Stacks.
You can get Skinny Stacks on Amazon. But if you buy directly from us, you can get them for just $19.99 plus process and handling. That's 2 Skinny Stacks for the lowest price, guaranteed. And if you don't love Skinny Stacks as much as I do, no problem. Just send them back within 30 days for a full refund. So scan the QR code, call, or order on our website and get your Skinny Stacks today.
And one thing, we got one player for the entire season
He's been giving everything to this group. We got a Golden Boot winner in the house, Tati Gatti.
On 98.7 ESPN, brought to you by Jack Pocket, Cooper Tire, and the MoheganSunCasino.com app. And now we are joined by the manager of the New York Yankees, Aaron Boone. Aaron, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Does this rain out hurt your team at all?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think it's, we're both teams have to deal with it. You got to deal with different things that come up all the time in the regular season and certainly in the postseason, and it's how you handle those things. So, we'll be ready to go tomorrow for an early one.
Now, the only thing that I can figure in looking at it is that your Game 2 starter, if the game was played today, could be your Game 5 starter on 3 days rest. Now it would be on 2 days rest. So do you have to manage your bullpen differently over the next couple of games just to keep Tyone available to start that possible Game 5?
Yeah, so we'll still have JMO available tomorrow, and then we'll kind of adjust as the series unfolds. If you got into a Game 5 scenario, I'd like to think that Nestor would be available on some level, especially for, some of their lefties in their lineup to give you another lefty, even if it's for an important inning or something. So, we'll adjust as we have to, but, we got a chance to go out and hopefully get another W and another step forward tomorrow.
You do probably appreciate the rest after a really long and grueling season, but 6 days off before the playoffs start, you play a game, and then it's going to be another 2 days off because of the off day and then the rain. So does it take you out of your rhythm to go from a season where you're playing pretty much every day to having one game in basically 10?
Yeah, just not allowed to. We're trying to look at it as the benefits of it, and we had an opportunity because we were able to win our division and secure a top seed that we had those days off. So hopefully we use that to our advantage, as far as getting guys rested and a couple guys back and more fully healthy. We're looking at it like that. We worked hard to try and stay sharp over that break to strike that balance between, resting and also making sure we're getting everyone some live reps. And hopefully it serves us well as this month unfolds.
Now, you started Garrett Cole in the first game, and he pitched really well, 1 out into the 7th inning. And you had taken a while to officially name Garrett as your number 1 starter in the playoffs. So I'm just wondering, Aaron, were you close at any point to saying, you know what, I'm going to go with Cortez in that Game 1?
I don't know if I wouldn't say I was necessarily close. Mm-hmm. I would just say, I've said going into this postseason that, I feel like obviously we're dealing with some injuries. We've lost some guys. We don't have some guys fully back. But one of the areas I feel really good about is our starting pitchers. And I feel like our 3 starters, and I think even when you expand it to JMO and even Herman, I feel like from a starting pitching standpoint, we match up really well with all the teams in the playoffs. And so I looked at it as kind of a good decision because of the year Nestor's put forth, because of how Sevy looks really all year, but then especially since he's come back off the IL. Like, I just feel like we're working from a position of strength, so I just wanted to make sure that I didn't race to a decision. I wanted to talk to some people about it, let it breathe a little bit, and before I made what I thought was the best decision.
Aaron, do you think fans have been fair with Garrett Cole? Because it seems like people are always ready to jump him, and if he didn't have a good performance a couple of days ago, it seems that they would have, and of course he staved that off. But do you think the fans have been fair in general with him?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I think they want him to be an ace of this team. I think when you come here and you sign a big contract and you're the big fish out there and you come here and there's no place that has higher expectations than playing for the New York Yankees. So I think he understands that. But I think they absolutely want him to do great and get behind him. And I was really excited to, I think what he's done since he's been here has been underrated. I think he's been incredibly durable. He takes the ball. He's strung together, 3 really strong seasons in a row where he's going to be top 5 probably in the Cy Young every single year. He's pitched well in the postseason, contrary to, I think, sometimes that narrative. And he got us off to a great start last night. And what I liked is, he went out there and had to deal with some adversity early on and came up and made some really big pitches, in some big spots. And I thought he was excellent in a pressure-packed game one.
I'm so glad you said that, because I think sometimes I'm speaking in a vacuum to some of our listeners, because they don't think Garrett Cole has been that good as a Yankee. He's finished in the top 5 in Cy Young the first 2 years. He's probably going to do it again. And I look at him. Now, did he give up too many home runs this year? Of course he did. But I think he's one of the top 5 pitchers in baseball. Am I off?
No question. And, he's a handful of long balls this year from probably being the Cy Young Award winner. When you figure the innings he logged, the strikeouts, the command, and I think a lot of the home runs were, of course, mistakes that people take advantage of. But I also do think it was a little bit of a weird year, and that we go back and look at some of these home runs that were hit off him that, man, it's like, how do you get to that pitch? Or, that wasn't such a mistake or whatever. So I think, what we try to look at is, I think he's thrown the ball incredibly well this year. I think he's been really consistent with how he's thrown the ball. And I think on balance, it's been an outstanding year for him.
Well, he's A-Rod. A-Rod was the same way, Aaron, the guy that came in after you, that it was all about, he won an MVP, don't care, win. He hit 56 home runs, don't care, win. Like, it's at that level. Is that just a Yankee thing? Is there any other place that you've been or seen in your travels that compared to the pressure that Yankee fans put on their own players?
Yeah, I don't think anything compares. I'm sure there's levels of it every place that exists. I once heard the analogy when A-Rod was here with Jeter, and that if A-Rod had captured Osama bin Laden, it would have been A-Rod captures bin Laden on a tip from Jeter. so I always thought that was kind of funny, and maybe there is something to that.
All right, so we have to get to this, and I know you're not going to like the question, but I got to ask it anyway. Donaldson gets thrown out on he thought it was a home run again. This is 3 times this year. Did you talk to him? I mean, do you worry that you're going to lose a game because of this guy?
No. First of all, this is different than the others. This is different than, the one where he hit the double off the wall. And this is a different circumstance altogether in that he hit the ball, got out of the box in the correct way, watching the flight of the ball like you should, and then you're going to react to how it goes off the wall. Now, it was a mistake in that not only him, our first base coach, and the stadium with the lights going off, everyone thought it was a homer, so then he put his head down and started to go into his trot before realizing, it wasn't a homer. So this was different than him earlier in the year when he hit a ball and thought it was out and went into his home run trot, and then it hits off the wall and he tried to make up for it. So no, I don't worry about it. Josh Donaldson is hooked up, is a gamer, is ready from pitch one, and it wasn't ideal the other night, but I have no issue or concern that Josh isn't putting everything into the game. I've had 2 times in the 5 years where I've pulled the guy, for quote not hustling, And while that's part of it within the game, the bigger part of it for me is I probably took that guy out or two for what I believe they weren't hooked up. They weren't where I needed them to be mentally, emotionally into that game, and I never worry about that with Donaldson.
See, but I agree with you, Aaron. I think he's hooked up all the time. I think he's one of the hardest playing players. But the fact that he goes into home run jogs before it's official and the umpire's giving the circular.
Yeah, but you're linking this to the one a couple months ago, and it's apples and oranges.
I get it with the lights going out, but the umpire didn't give the signal. He didn't give the signal yet.
Okay, but I've never hit a home run and seen it go over the fence and looked to the umpire for the signal. He made a mistake that it went out. So did the first base coach. So did the stadium, by the way, with the lights going on and the music. So you think it went out. Mm-hmm. You don't look to the umpire. That's not the mechanics of the whole thing. It's a mistake, and but fortunately it didn't hurt us. But it's not something I'm worried about because I want guys that I know are ready to compete and fight and game on, and I don't have any issue right now with where any of our guys are.
I guess it's just the time we live in because it's just so much part of the game, Aaron. But as you were saying that, I find it, I guess both could be true, that you could make a mistake like that and it not necessarily be that you're lazy. Like the old days was, right. You're just lazy. You're not busted. We got to bench him. That you can be an all-out player and sometimes just get caught up.
You know what? And we have this conversation, and this is more of a conversation when we're all sitting around and being, have 20 minutes to be real candid. And I kind of, it's such a poor definition of. I mean, you watch some of these games and. Look, I was a guy who sprinted out of the box and was on second base. And that's great, but I think it's a poor, kind of definition of, this guy's a gamer. I could show you a lot of guys that, quote, hustle that I don't want because I know they're not posting. I know they're not game on. In a perfect world, you have it all, but you look around the league and there's a number of great players that, I promise you, are jogging a lot less than our team.
I'm going to need some guys that you don't want. A couple of names, please.
That's it.
Yeah, a couple of names. Guys that we think hustle and you don't want.
Oh, no. No names. This is a no-name show.
All right, Scott Effrost, how much did that buckle your knees? Because I looked at it that you were setting things up, that he was going to be a big part of the postseason, and now he needs Tommy John surgery. How much of a surprise was that?
Yeah, it was a surprise and a blow, no question. I think he was in a really important part of our bullpen, and had dealt with the shoulder issue and came back, and I thought was going to play a big role for us. So definitely a blow, and one that I feel really bad for him because I know how excited he was or is to be here and be a part of this team. But also I know how excited he was to go compete and play a meaningful role in our postseason. And obviously that's going to go on hold. So we just try and kind of support him and know he's going to get right and better. And it's an opportunity for someone else to pick up the slack.
How disappointed were you in Chapman? And how difficult a decision was that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely disappointed. I don't know how difficult of a decision that's necessarily for me. One that I did mull over and really think about, but just felt like it wasn't a good enough excuse, and kind of feel like whatever circumstances a player's dealing with at this time of the year, whatever kind of year you've had, we need you all in or not.
Now, you decided not to put LeMahieu on the roster. And just reading, I didn't get a chance to talk to DJ. We've been doing the post game in the studio. It seemed like he wanted to play and that he was a little disappointed. Could he have played, Aaron, and he just couldn't have played at a high level? What was the thought process behind the decision?
Well, when I saw him taking at bats in Texas, I just felt like I wasn't quite seeing enough. I felt like he was very compromised. Do I think he could have been something off the bench and give a professional at bat? And I know, like, he could have, caught the ball at him and handled the routine play. Yeah, but I also felt like he was very compromised. And then in the live batting practice the other day, the night before the start of the postseason, I just felt like it was kind of the same after some treatments he had gotten in the days that we were off. And, when I brought him in, he was like, I feel like I could give you something off the bench and handle the routine play, but I know what you're seeing. And that was ultimately my decision. I just didn't think it was fair to DJ at this point, and I just felt like he was compromised enough to where it wasn't the rewards weren't going to outweigh the risk.
See, to me, that must have been really difficult because I know that's your type of player. That's every manager's type of player. So that must not have been an easy talk to have. Aaron? Oh, no.
You offended him.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry, it hit me.
Oh, so I was saying that must not have been an easy talk because that's your type of player. That's everybody's type of player.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was hard. I mean, it was a heart-to-heart. Him and I in my office together. He totally understood. He was willing to go to the post no matter what and felt like he could go to the post for us. But ultimately, I made the decision that I just felt like he was compromised enough that I didn't want to do it. And, I think he understood that.
Rules interpretation. I'm sorry, Don. Travis Chapman thought it was out and actually gave 5 to Donaldson. Could he have technically been called out because he interfered with a player on a live ball?
No. I hadn't even considered that.
Because a coach isn't allowed to touch a player, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
I don't know what the rule is.
Aaron, you should know that Michael actually went right to the league and tried to get that.
He submitted it to the league.
No, I didn't have to. But he was out anyway.
All right. Yeah, that's it. That's the only reason. But Michael still submitted it to the league because somebody screwed up.
We got to clean that part of it up. Yeah. We do need to make sure the ball goes over the wall. There's no argument here.
We were discussing Judge leading off the pros and cons of it. Is it just as simple as it's his on-base percentage and the extra at bat just outweighs the fact that it might come at the expense of him getting up with runners on base?
I don't know. I just think it flows right now with our personnel the best. I think part of the debate on it is his size, and that jives with your tradition. Like Mookie Betts leads off for the Dodgers. They're very similar players. Mookie's just traditionally looks more like a leadoff hitter, but they're similar kind of players. Power on base, greatness, whatever. I just think it lines up for us right now where, we don't have a lot of lefties in the lineup right now, obviously. It enables me to split up our guys. I think right now we're playing a Guardian team that, a number of their relievers and a number of their starters are kind of on that neutral split or even some reverse split guys that, I don't mind having stacking righties against them. So for now, I feel like this is the best thing, and I'll take him being on base a lot. And obviously, the threat he is right away to start the game, the chance to get one more at bat, and ultimately, if we're going to go far in this postseason, it's going to be the guys around him and the supporting cast that have to be productive. For us to advance.
Now, I don't know if you saw Ian O'Connor's column in the Post today, but baseball is such a beautiful game, and it brings everything together. So his dad, Harrison Bader's dad, is a huge Yankee fan. And he was sitting in the stands in 2003 in Game 7 when you came up to the plate.
Yep.
And he turned to who he was sitting with and said, Boone better hit a home run here because Mo's done. And then you hit a home run. Then you're in the dugout, and his son hits I thought that was a really, really big home run, Aaron. because that kind of got the crowd back into it after Quan hits the home run.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that was, I thought a lot of good things happened in game one. One was, Garrett getting off, wiggling off the hook there in the third inning, when his pitch count was rising, bases loaded, 1 out. He gets out of that inning having just allowed the solo homer, and then Bader immediately going out and with an answer to get us right back in the game, I thought was huge. Then we have the ball that they get Donaldson out on. Next batter, boom, IKF down the right field line, and now we're rolling again. I thought we answered well. And then to get Loaizaga, Peralta, and Holmes all in the game and effective was big. But I agree, Harrison doing that was big for him, was big for us. And I did not read the article you're talking about, but I am very aware of the story of his parents and him and his relationship with the Yankees, and I know about his dad being there for the 2003 game, so I am very much aware of it. So the fact that this come around and he homers in his first playoff game with the Yankees, pretty cool, and it was a big one.
All right, it's Thursday Night Football. You had a bad week last week. You've got Washington now -1
That's
against
right.
the Bears in Chicago. So what do you have?
Man. I wanted the under last week. That was my play. I hated that game so much.
Yep, and you would have been right.
So,
Can't be in love with this one.
All right. I mean, this is, man, no offense, Peter, but this is a clunker on a Thursday night, isn't it?
No, it's like
I mean, this is an absolute dud.
Yeah, that's why we needed you guys to play tonight.
Peter, I'm going to throw you a bone. The NFC East is looking like a monster this year. So I'm taking the Commanders to go on the road and get one. Yeah,
let's get a game.
I think they go get one.
I like that.
I like the call.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you realize this, Aaron, but Andrew Gunling, who used to be our producer, was so upset that you didn't want to be text buddies with him that he just left.
It's not
he
fair.
left last week. Friday was his last day because you wouldn't be his text buddy.
He didn't even give you a 2-week notice, did he?
Oh, he did.
I mean, it seemed kind of abrupt. He did give us 2 weeks?
Yes, he did. But the thing that put him over the top was you not being his text buddy. That's why he was hanging in as long as he did.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we got a big one. Andrew and I got a big one Sunday night, with Cowboys. We got a few Cowboy fans in our locker room too that really wear me out about it. So
reveal them. Reveal these Cowboy fans.
Yes.
I don't want to do that because I don't want to.
Well, Trevino's from Texas. Figured it out.
Undeserved hate.
Yeah.
No, it's deserved hate.
Yeah.
Come on, be a Cowboy fan. Unless you're from Dallas. You're
even from.
Well, and Chad Bowling, our mental skills guy, is also that for the Dallas Cowboys. So we have a direct connection there. So.
Does Chad work directly with Jerry Jones?
As big an Eagle fan as.
Does Chad work with Jerry Jones at all with mental conditioning? Or just the players?
Too soon, Michael. Too soon. What's going on today in the sports world?
Just the Yankee rain out. That's about it. Oh, you know what? I want to ask you this question. Because I know you know Buck. Do you think he did anything wrong checking?
I don't know. I don't know all the. I don't know what he had or what. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
But he probably had something he thought if he went out there.
I was actually on my way home from dinner with my family. And so I was listening to the game on the radio when it happened, and I was losing myself in the car, like that I couldn't be home watching this unfold. And I went home and checked it out, but it was kind of compelling to hear the radio version of it, and as it's unfolding. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for Buck. You got to do what you think's right in the moment. And
can you help us understand why there's a contingency of people who see it as such a bad thing? Because the three of us all felt like it was a desperate circumstance. You're seeing the spin rates up.
He's got glazed donuts for ears.
He's got the glazed ears. We just don't seem to understand why a lot of respected people think it was such an awful move.
Yeah, I don't see it that way. I mean, if you think, somebody obviously in an enormous game is doing something untoward or whatever, it's maybe upon you to do that. I think you need to be right about it or feel like that evidence is strong, but it's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to know what they were looking at or what they had or didn't have.
To you, a drastic increase in spin rate, would that send up your radar that something's up?
Probably drastic. Yeah, I would think so.
Well, so just say one thing. If Bieber has glazed ears tomorrow, you got to go out.
Well, it'll be a little cooler. I think that you see some guys with glazed ears that put some things on them to try and beat the cooler weather. So you'll see a little bit of that probably this postseason.
Now, Andrew McCutchen tweeted out during the game that pitchers sometimes put Red Hot on their ears so they could get focused in. Have you ever heard of that?
I haven't, but I've since heard that does happen a little bit. So,
wow, there's a lot at stake, I guess.
Maybe I should have been doing that. Keep myself a little more focused.
Yeah, you didn't need it in 2003. Anyway, good luck tomorrow, and thanks for coming on as always.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Good luck tonight, Peter.
Oh, thank you very much.
Very nice.
Need that.
That's today's Aaron Boone Report, brought to you by Jackpocket. Play official state lottery games on your phone. Download the app and get your first Mega Million or Powerball ticket free using code ESPN. You must be 18 or older to play. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem wants help, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Visit jackpocket.com/TOS for terms of service. Cooper Tire for high-performing quality tires at affordable prices. Come to Mavis for Cooper brand tires, and Mavis always provides best-in-class customer service. Visit Mavis at mavistire.com and the MoheganSunCasino.com app. Where do you play, Mohegan? Must be 21 or older to play. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem wants help, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Yes, Peter?
I will be making a pick when we come back for tonight's game.
And I'm going to tell you why he's making a pick. What kind of little?
Yeah, I know. I just got myself.
Carson Wentz is arguably the greatest Thursday night quarterback in NFL history. 1,443 yards, 15 TDs, 2 interceptions, 6 games, 6-0. Go for it, Peter.
As God is my witness, I have not seen what you guys just said. Was that just tweeted to our group chat?
Yes, but you don't read it.
Yeah, I barely read the group chat. No. I will be making a pick when we get back. It has nothing to do with that, but it's going to be emphatic. It's going to be a statement pick.
And after his pick, Michael, I am going to have a hot take on Aaron Boone.
Woo! Wow.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Wow. It's amazing.
What a tease.
Peter, the two of us, you don't pay attention to group chats, and I don't pay attention to the pre-show meeting. It's great.
To group meetings?
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah,
but Don takes up the slack.
We don't. There's no facial expression when Peter ignores a text.
Right. Thank you. That's a great point.
I do have a facial
Michael's
expression.
look of disgust stands out. Yeah.
We're way past the clock.
Because I simply don't think it's wise to do a show before a show. That's just me. 1-800-919-3776. It's Kayla, Greco, Rosenberg, and you on the ESPN app and 98.7 ESPN.
See yourself in the Lululemon Studio Mirror with more than 10,000 workouts. Led by world-class instructors. Featuring guest fitness studios like Pure Barre, Rumble, and more. Your perfect workout is waiting in the ultimate home gym. So join in now and see yourself move in the Lululemon Studio Mirror.
When I first heard of ClickUp, I thought it was something out of a martial arts movie. But that's a kick-up. Man, I love kick-ups. So it got me thinking, how many others out there wish they could kick up? So I created the Academy of Epic Kick-Ups. And get this, we manage all our kick-ups in ClickUp. Student goals, instructor docs, progress reports, all right here. Thanks to ClickUp, the Academy of Epic Kick-Ups can kick butt.
Welcome to Casper.
Here, a cooler night's sleep is crafted with Snow technology, using heat-delete bands, Airscape breathable foam, and a quick cool cover, helping you drift off with ease and sleep 6 degrees cooler all through the night. Wake up refreshed and ready for your best tomorrow. Save up to $600 off mattresses at Casper.com or a store near you.
You done yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling through videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something new, why not change those shades that have been broken for the past 2 years? Let's tap the Thumbtack app, and in a matter of seconds, we'll find a pro to install new shades.
Okay.
With Thumbtack, you can easily find top-rated professionals for every home project.
Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home. Paying down debt can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Upstart makes it fast and easy. Borrowers can access the funds they need in as little as 1 business day. Checking your rate is fast, easy, with no cost to you or your credit score. Loans start at $1,000 and go up to $50,000. Join the club of over 1.8 million customers who have turned to Upstart for a personal loan. Your financial freedom begins at Upstart.com.
And that's why when others look away, we lean in. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change everything. But we need your help to make more moments of hope possible. Join our fight. Save lives. Because we are all stronger together.
Back to the trail, back to the field, or still at the beach. Wherever you're headed this fall, there's a Ford SUV ready to take you there. With advanced tech to help navigate your life, cargo space that adapts to your changing needs, and capability to go wherever the season takes you. That's why more people keep coming back to Ford. Here's to many happy returns. Right now, custom order select Ford vehicles and get $1,000 bonus cash. Learn more at buyfordnow.com.
Did you receive a call or message that mentioned Social Security and demanded immediate action? Did the caller know your Social Security number or other personal information and tell you that your Social Security number had been used in connection with the crime? Did you feel worried that your Social Security number might be suspended, your bank account might be frozen or seized, or you could be arrested? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, demand your personal information, or instant payment, email or text you pictures or documents, or use a real government official's name to gain your trust. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Do not be fooled. Hang up. Ignore them. Report this criminal activity to the Social Security Administration Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Grounded. It'll be a tough play. Got him. The diving Cortez.
That's awesome right there.
It's over his head. It's a big RBI double for Kiner-Falefa. And the Yankees have tied the game at 4. Gleyber Torres with a chance to win the game.
He could make this at bat special right here, right now.
Line drive into right center field. That's going to do it. Gleyber Torres comes off the bench and becomes a hero.
Right here, baby.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Chris Sheeran back here in our Yes Network studios. It's the most wonderful time of the year for sports fans when all 4 major sports are colliding at the same time. The MLB playoffs are well underway. The NBA season is right around the corner. The NHL season has commenced, and tonight, the NFL starts a week 6 with Thursday night football between the Bears and Washington. Carson Wentz has been limited in practice this week with a sore right shoulder, but he is expected to get the start tonight. He has thrown the second most interceptions in the league, but is also tied for the 5th most touchdown passes this season. Chicago has lost 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams. However, they did win the last meeting back in 2019. Washington has had its fair share of problems so far this season with their 1-4 start. Their defense hasn't had a turnover since week 1, their only win of the season over Jacksonville. They've committed the 6th most penalties. They have just 2 rushing touchdowns, and in 2 road games so far, in Detroit and Dallas, they've allowed over 30 points per game.
Well, through 20 years of the Michael K. Show, our listeners have become very enthusiastic about making and wearing customized K. Show t-shirts. Now, we're excited to see new and creative t-shirts at all of our live broadcasts. So now, we'd like our listeners to show off their best work and get paid for it. It's the Kay LaGreca-Rosenberg Buy You contest. Now through Friday, October 14th. That's tomorrow, baby. Head over to ESPNNewYork.com and submit your best K. Show custom t-shirt design. We'll select 3 finalists and put them up to a vote. To award 1 winner $2,000 cash and 4 VIP tickets, the Michael K. Show 20th anniversary party on November 18th. That's when the party is. We want you there. Head over to ESPNNewYork.com for full contest rules and submit your entry today. It is time now for the Thursday Night Football preview brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And we're going to let Peter handle this because he said he's got a big-time bet.
Sometimes you got to draw a line in the sand. And you got to say, I love my commies. This is where I stand. This is where my sword will enter the ground. That's right. Huh? I've never heard that phrase either. I am going with my commies.
Of course you are.
And I'm making it my 3-point.
Oh,
play.
my!
Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Three.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's an incredibly oniony move.
And you know what? I'm making it mine.
Wait.
That's my 3-point play. Yeah.
Wow.
1, 2, 3-point play. You're rolling with the commies?
Rolling with the commies.
You know what? I should do it too, just to guard against losing points.
just because pick them.
Or show us something.
Yeah, because it'll show us something.
Chicago.
It'll cut down the 5:45 picks because we're going to have a baseball game to analyze tomorrow. Come on, Michael, show me something.
No, listen, go Chicago for 3.
Yeah,
now that's a day.
If you here's what I'll say. If you had any guts or brains, you'd make Chicago your 3-point play.
6-point swing. Can you imagine?
Come on, Michael. What do you say? You're in a foul mood. Come on.
Imagine the glory if you beat both of us tomorrow with a 3-point Chicago win.
Picture Chicago as your 3-point play. You punching with both your fists, me and Peter in the forehead right now. Come on. Don't be scared of me. Don't be scared of Peter.
I was making your face dead. And listen, I'll say this. You're up against the Commanders. It's not a terrible bet, okay? Chicago undefeated at home, by the way, so far. They beat the 49ers in that slog, and they beat the Texans 23-20.
But I did get some information here.
Go ahead.
Since home teams last won 3 straight against the spread on Thursday Night Football in September 2020, road teams have been on a roll. 16-16 straight up, 21-11-1 against the spread. That's 65.6%, including Indianapolis's win and cover last week. Give me the commies for 3, baby. Yeah. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
No pressure this weekend now.
Do we go from, Peter, that went from this repug game I'm not going to watch to all of a sudden I'm sweating, I got to watch, to all of a sudden I'm back to not caring again.
Right, it doesn't matter anymore. I love my commies. I thought I was actually, I just want to say how much I hate you both.
Why?
I thought I was actually doing something entertaining. Taking my stupid team who finds a way to lose every week as my 3-point play on a Thursday.
I hope they lose.
And you guys have now, it's nothing. It's an irrelevant game for the
You
picks.
want to change
That's
it?
right.
It's too late.
No, take it back.
This is exactly how I wanted it to go down. This game doesn't deserve anything, Nobody deserves to win or lose this game.
Wow.
Now let me ask you a question, though, Don. Was your pick totally fraudulent, or do you like them to win?
No, I have no feel on it.
I know
whatsoever.
exactly what Don's thinking. He's got a game tonight. He's flying. He's got another game. He doesn't have the time or the mental bandwidth to get 3 picks.
So listen, if you guys want to roll with us tonight,
and Aaron Boone,
we're rolling with the commies.
And Aaron Boone.
And Aaron Boone with the commies.
Everybody
And it's funny, on a day in which, I mean, you have to think about this team. They had to go out to Chicago. They're sitting around in their hotel today with SportsCenter on, right? Just eviscerating their team culturally. Just the worst place to be. The quarterback was beaten to the ground by the head coach this week. No confidence whatsoever. And then we find out in the report that supposedly Wentz is only there because Dan Snyder stuck his big, fat, stupid nose in the football business. This is what they're walking into tonight, and we're all rolling with the commies.
That seems to be
Who did that song, Rolling with the Homies?
That seems to be a trend in this country. That's today's Thursday Night Football preview, brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple blended, triple distilled, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Make sure, everybody, to grab a Tullamore Dew during tonight's action. Remember, when it's game time, it's Tully time. Please enjoy responsibly. You know, Don, you can just sit and luxuriate. Oh, you're going to be doing the game. I'll sit and luxuriate during the game.
That's it.
I might even spark up a blunt, and I've never done it before in my life.
Wow.
Now that's news.
Of all the things to get it done. I still have my Boone hot take. Do you want to use that as another tease, or you want me to squeeze it in here?
No. Let's not squeeze anything in. We'll come back and have your Boone hot take. And then we have Steve Young at 5. What a show today. We're getting you through the rain. And at 7 o'clock, you know what you're going to be singing? I made it through the rain. I held myself. Whatever the words are.
Love Barry.
You do, right?
Oh, big time.
I was listening to 70s on 70s yesterday. 70s on 7. And I Write the Songs was on, and I just was belting it out in the car, knowing he didn't write a word of that. Not one word.
Written by Brian Johnston about God.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So God writes the songs.
Everybody thought it was about Brian Wilson. No, he went above Brian Wilson.
Wait, so God writes the songs? That's what the songs are?
That's right.
Well, God does everything, right? God just made that 3-point pick.
He did.
Three.
All right, Boone Hot Take coming up when we get back right here on Yes at 98.7 ESPN.
Judge has set the New York Yankees single-season home run record. Celebrate this historic moment with this commemorative limited edition bat and ball with the official Aaron Judge logo. Call now or go to fanatics.com/Judge62 to order. This exclusive limited edition Aaron Judge logo bat and ball will be yours to cherish for a lifetime, honoring Aaron Judge in this historic moment in Yankees history. Go online or call 888-720-4036. That's 888-720-4036.
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877-CASH now.
I have an annuity, but I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877-CASH now. 877-CASH now. They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you. Get long-term payments, but you need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877-CASH now. 877-CASH now.
877-CASH now.
877-CASH now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877-CASH now.
Join me for a brand new series, Well Life NYC. I am so excited to get into this. Let's get well, New York. I feel good. I feel set up for success. Well Life NYC, now on the Yes app.
An estimated 11 million Americans have heart valve disease, but most of us know little to nothing about it.
People can be born with valve problems, or they can develop from cardiovascular disease, infections, certain cancer treatments, and age, with older adults at the highest risk. If diagnosed early, it can usually be successfully treated, no matter what your age. Valve disease can cause a number of symptoms, including lightheadedness, irregular heartbeat, shortness of breath, tiredness, swelling of the ankles and feet, and not feeling like yourself in general. But is often only detected when your heart is listened to by a healthcare professional. So listen to your heart. See your healthcare professional. Discuss your risk factors and any potential symptoms. And go to valvediseaseday.org to learn more.
They say nothing worth having comes easy, to which we say they must not have had our sirloin steak with garlic herb butter, because it takes less than 30 minutes to make. No, really. With Home Chef, you get more ways to have super delicious, super fresh meals that are also super easy. So even when you don't really have time to cook, you still have time to Home Chef. Get $90 off your first month at homechef.com. Also available at select stores. Home Chef. Delicious means simple.
With Drizzly, I can shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor. I just open the app, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes. Drizzly also lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
We have the drive, we have the motivation, and now it's just to act on it.
Hi, this is Aaron Judge, and I want to introduce you to my All Rise Foundation. Our mission is to inspire children and youth to become responsible citizens by engaging them in activities that encourage them to reach unlimited possibilities. We do this through our All Rise Pro Camps, through our Aspiring Leaders programs, and through many grant programs that provide $2,500 to organizations that support our youth's education, leadership skills, health, and well-being. Now I'm proud to share All Rise with New York City with our first All-Star Evening on November 18th. I hope you will join me and my foundation as we all rise to support youth in our community. Visit AaronJudgeAllRiseFoundation.org for more information.
Well, we go to the bottom of the ninth. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? See ya! There's the home run. He ties it with one swing. How you like me now? And that brings up Judge. Driven down the left field line. And the Yankees have done it again. They come all the way back.
Right here, baby.
The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Chris Sheeran back here in our Yes Network studios. The Brooklyn Nets picked up their first win of the preseason in Milwaukee last night, and we took a look back at the highlights right now. Nets big three at 22 assists. The Bucks as a team at 19 total. Ben Simmons led the way with 10. This one went to Kevin Durant for a turnaround J in the first. In the third, it was Simmons again to KD. Durant had 8 assists as well. This jumper put the Nets up by 9. Finally, Kyrie Irving completes the big three preseason highlight as Irving drills the triple here to put the Nets up by 18. Kyrie had 4 assists to go along with the other 2 of the big three. Here's a look at all the numbers for the Nets stars out in Milwaukee last night. KD, Kyrie were each over 30 minutes. Simmons played 28. Durant was 2 assists shy of a double-double, while Irving led all Nets scorers with 23. Brooklyn's last tune-up in preseason before their season opener at Barclays Center this coming Wednesday is tomorrow night out in Minnesota against the Timberwolves. Our coverage begins here on Yes at 8 o'clock, where the Nets in the league will get their first look at Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert together as teammates. They play for the first time this preseason together. That's expected tomorrow night. It's the Nets and Timberwolves tomorrow night at 8 right here on Yes. And streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
marks the 50th anniversary of New York Islanders hockey. Now, here's your chance to score Islanders tickets for Saturday's game at UBS Arena against the Anaheim Ducks. Be caller number 4 right now at 888-987-ESPN to win. And if you don't win, you can still join in on the fun this season by grabbing your tickets right now at NewYorkIslanders.com. It's all brought to you by the New York Islanders, and they're opening their season today at UBS Arena as well. Two things. Mariners lead the Astros 2-1 bottom of the fourth in Houston. And, Don, this is something that I think you're going to want to opine on. Okay. Seth MacFarlane, a Family Guy, is remaking Naked Gun. Wow. And he's officially courting Liam Neeson for the remake. You like that or not?
It's a tall order. I like where his head's at with this, to get Liam Neeson to play comedy.
Right.
I think that could really be funny. But that is a tremendous franchise soiled by the OJ situation, which I think did not allow, seriously, that franchise to be as respected as it should. Because it didn't age well, right, Peter? Because OJ is like a major player in that. And I think it doesn't get...
But I think it was never going to get the due for how funny it is just based on the kind of movie it was. Because it was like just so silly. It's such an over-the-top, silly movie. I love the idea. I think Liam Neeson's a great idea too.
I think it's a tremendous idea.
Now you got to find an athlete. You got to get someone to play the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar role.
Aaron Judge.
Love it. Aaron Judge is the pilot. Yeah. Tremendous.
Fun with Numbers, who follows our show tremendously, said not a gutsy move, but the smart one. Michael K. pulls the soccer move, dribbling into the corner and standing there to run out the clock. After picking the commies.
I just like how organic it was.
Incarcerated Bob, not happy with us, Don. That's not right what they just did to Rosenberg. Very disrespectful to the gambling gods. You will feel his wrath later in the year.
How much more can I'm under 500. Why not stir it up a little bit?
All right, Don, you had a hot take on Booney.
I don't know if you guys agree, but reading between the lines, it sounds to me like Aaron kind of sides with Gary and Chris on the Buck situation. And he respects Buck too much to criticize him for it, but I just got the sense that he wouldn't do what Buck did and probably sides with Russo and Cohen.
Well, the thing that might lean toward what you're saying is when he said, you better be right.
That's what I couldn't remember exactly how he put it.
But you don't know if you're right or not unless you check.
Yeah, and also I don't understand why you have to be right. Nobody's been able to articulate enough for me to know to understand why the punishment or the embarrassment or the integrity of baseball is enough not to try. Again, they don't tack on another run for the Padres. They don't throw you out of the game. Like in hockey, if you measure the stick and it's a legal stick, you get a penalty. It's kind of a similar situation. There's no punishment other than
that'd be a good thing if there was a punishment.
I don't know what the punishment could be, but
the pitcher gets an out, something like that, and that might not even be enough of a punishment.
Right, I don't know, but the thing is that then we can debate. Like, do you really want to risk losing your timeout? Like, whatever it is in hockey, in baseball, and football that have similar punishments. Like, it's a power play for the team that didn't do anything wrong, or it's you lose your timeout or you lose a challenge in the NFL. But I just don't see where it's not worth the risk. The pros outweigh the con. What is the con? You're embarrassed? You look foolish? Well, you're looking foolish anyway. You're down 4-0, getting one hit through 5 innings. I'm just really shocked. As Chris was shocked with us, guys, I'm shocked that there is even an opinion that he did anything wrong, and you have to be right.
I was listening to your guy Dan Grossa driving home yesterday. I think he's on the Russo Gary side.
But I think Peter hit the nail on the head the day with Russo. That is coming from people that have a problem with Buck overall, the way he managed the series, and it's just another way to kind of stick it to Buck because you didn't like the way he managed. And that's fine if you don't like the way he managed, but that doesn't mean that everything he did was wrong and that this has to be the icing on the cake for it.
Now, I've known Buck since 1987. All right, so you do the math. I can't. It's only 35 years, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And he had information. He didn't go there rolling the dice because the guy had, glazed donut ears. He had information. He did not go out there naked, just taking a roll of the dice and saying, let's see if I can find something. Somebody or many people told him there was something untoward going on. I would bet on that. And it didn't work out. The umpires didn't find it.
And listen, I know it's dangerous to do. I'm leaning on the conspiracy side, too. I think the umpires saw it and didn't do anything about it.
I don't want to go there.
Why not?
Because I mean that's pretty damning.
I don't care. You know, I just think that when you then explain to me why all the spin rates are up. Why all of a sudden would they be up? Now again, I'm saying this and at the same time not crying that the Mets got robbed. The Mets lost. They would have lost anyway. Okay. But I really do feel, because come on, this is the same sport, guys, that says they can't do anything about the baseballs, yet they own half the company. So I don't put anything by base. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't think. Well, I think it's a ridiculous take by Chris. You got to trust somebody. No, I don't have to trust anybody. I don't feel like trusting. Like, I don't want to have de facto trust. Well, I'm supposed to trust the umpires. I'm supposed to trust baseball. I'm supposed to trust the commissioner. No, not if I don't. So I think everything's on the table to be analyzed and dissected. You're telling me there are no conspiracy theories? There are no malfeasance going on?
I love when he goes malfeasance.
Or do we all have to just be like, well, you know, we just have to trust the way things are?
I trust no one.
Can't change the world, Don.
You know why I don't trust anyone, Don? Because people stink. Anyway, when we come back, Steve Young is going to join us. A makeup call by Steve Young. He didn't call in on Monday. He's calling in today.
We'll see.
We'll see, right. You know, you're right, Don. We can't bet on it. But we'll see if he shows up in just a moment right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
Feeling like ice cold lemonade. Nowhere to go when you're in the shade. Nowhere to go when you're in the cage. Sometimes life tastes bittersweet. Feeling like ice cold lemonade. Nowhere to go when you're in the shade. Nowhere to go when you're in the cage. Feeling like summertime in the shade.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the Integra.
It's raining. It's pouring. During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous. So the next time a storm is coming, trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary.
Wow, it's so clear. It's dusk, but I can really see.
Oh, wow. Honestly, for how dark it is out here right now, these are incredible.
Battle Vision Storm uses light-optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. And they're not just for storms. They turn night to bright, even in perfect weather.
I used to hate driving at night. The traffic lines were hard to see. The lights from oncoming traffic were blinding. I feel so much safer driving in the evenings now.
Blinding sunlight or headlights cut the glare instantly. Dark traffic signs, see them with confidence. Blurry lane markers, turn clear and visible. Wow! Even objects in your side and rear view mirrors are easier to see. And Battle Vision Storm go head-to-head with the toughest conditions. Whether you're driving through smoke-filled air from wildfires, or you're on a boat getting crushed by the sea, and they're guaranteed for life. Get your Battle Vision Storm for just $19.99. Order right now, and we'll send you a second pair absolutely free. That's 2 Battle Vision Storm glasses for just $19.99. This TV offer is not available on Amazon. Order now.
Call 1-800-841-9247. That's 1-800-841-9247 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-841-9247 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. Order now.
Did you know Google makes a phone? Sure, it's beautiful, but it does things other phones can't do, which is how it helps take annoying items out of pictures. Introducing our newest Google Pixel phones. Get up to $750 off any Google Pixel 7 phone with eligible trade-in.
With Drizzly, I can shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor. I just open the app, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes. Drizzly also lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
At DraftKings Casino, we give credit where credit is due in the form of credit, plus a bonus. Download DraftKings Casino and get up to $50 in free credits to use on any game, plus a deposit bonus up to $2,000. Now, roll credits.
Skip by Martinez trying to get on the end of it. Does. Header attempt by McNamara, and it's finished off by Frank Lampard. Harrison to Lampard. Cuts to the right foot. Frank Lampard! His second of the game for the hat trick. Will it be the first in New York City history? It is. Frank Lampard, his 8th of the season, and a franchise first for New York City.
Get trending with off-field fashion as designers from FIT style celebrities from the sports world and beyond. Off-field fashion, exclusively on the S app.
Don, we should be ashamed of ourselves.
What's that?
Zito on Twitter goes, how do we give Rosenberg a pass that it confused the Airplane movie with the Naked Gun franchise?
We went to break. I couldn't correct him.
So
I knew exactly what he did.
Right. So you were gonna jump him. I like it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's not even the same decade.
He's out of his mind. Anyways, time for the Steve Young Report on 98.7 ESPN, brought to you by Bigelow Tea, FW Webb, and Wild McLean, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And our good friend, the Hall of Famer, Steve Young, joins us now. And, Steve, we got to start with this question. What happened on Monday? We got concerned. We were nervous something happened to you.
No disrespect. I think it's important we all kind of lay out we're friends. We've been friends for a long time. It was just I got jammed up on that. I couldn't get into the stadium. It was my own fault. I was late. I caused myself grief. All I needed is pick up and tell Andrew, hey, bro, I'm stuck. I can't help you. It's my fault. I apologize to those that – if there's anyone out there that has this appointment radio for Monday at 5 and it's supposed to be me and I wasn't there, I greatly apologize. I don't know if there's anybody like that out there, but if there is,
it's everybody.
I apologize.
Steve, you're the number one guest.
I want to make up for it. I'm going to try to bring my A game to make up for it. I screwed it up. I own it. I'm going to try to fix it. Let's move on. I don't know what else to say. It's no disrespect meant. And there's love around everywhere.
Love is in the air. I can feel it. I can actually feel it. Thank you, Steve. So we start with this. There's a lot of topics we want to get to. Have you seen anything from Daniel Jones that would lead you to believe that he could become that guy?
So I think they found, let me say it this way, because we've had a number of times we've talked about this the last 3-4 weeks. They found a nice rhythm. And I loved what they did with Daniel. Daniel came off a play fake, hit number one. Hit number, come off drop back. There was a couple of third downs, but most of them were off play action, quick hitting, make one decision, throw the ball or not. Don't belabor it. Don't wander around. Just hit the first guy and then get on the run and try to make a play, and try to make something with your legs or keep it simple, and kind of kiss, right? Keep it simple, stupid. Just like keep it simple. Run the football, play great defense. It feels like that's going to get them some relevancy. You ask me the bigger question, can Daniel Jones grow into it? There's a processing limiter. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's – I think at this point in his career, it's got to be him that's limiting the processing. Maybe, I'm open because I'm not in the room. I'm not studying with him. I'm not listening to him speak to me. It's hard to me put perfect context to it. But if there is a processing limiter to him to be great, and I'm not sure why or where it's coming from, but I can tell you that success breeds success. And so if he could somehow kind of have more and more success, it could give him the things that are answers to the limitations somehow. But right now, I think they found their nice little spot with him, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, and this is coming from a Giant fan, Steve. I'm a Giant fan. I'm loving what they're doing. I just don't believe it's sustainable. It's nice. It's fun. They're competitive. They play with heart. They play with imagination. But at some point, everyone's going to go to school on this, and it's going to be harder and harder to do. The idea that, well, what if they go 12-5? No, that's not going to happen. I think they might be able to battle for a playoff spot. And as much as you said you need a quarterback to win a championship, and you absolutely do, I've seen Danny Cannell win 10 games in this league. I mean, you sometimes with good coaching, smoke and mirrors might be able to produce a good regular season. You're not winning a championship, and you're not parlaying it to a big contract.
But, Don, we talked about that. This is their push to relevancy, and all of this is making them more relevant, and that's fine.
Right.
You want to talk about championship football, this offense doesn't work in championship football. It's not going to. I would say that about Mike Vrabel's group. I'd say it about – there's a number of places where – and they would argue at the Ravens. I've been banging on that drum for a while. Like, everyone can say, oh, screw you, Steve. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, you know what? I got history on my side. It tells me in 2022 – So if you're satisfied with relevancy, which I think is better than where they've been, this is the way to do it. But everyone's question is, okay, so where do we grow from there? And I'm hoping that by being relevant and creating that space for people to actually improve and get better, that Daniel can speak to it and that the offense can grow into it and they can become more innovative and they can become a championship caliber offense. That's not today. This is a relevancy offense, but it's not an irrelevant offense, right? It's like it's a relevant offense. It's proving that out, and let's see if we can grow into it. But if you say to me, make your decision today, no, this offense is not that. Can it grow into it? I can cross my fingers and hope.
What do you think makes Dable so special? I mean, people are talking about him coach of the year after 5 games. Is he tapping into the zeitgeist of the players? I mean, is he vibing with them the right? What do you think it is? Because there are a lot of great football minds out there. I'm sure Joe Judge was a great football mind, but it didn't click. Why is he clicking?
Well, it's kind of like what happened with Rule in Carolina. First of all, there's people that can communicate with base players, and there's a number of like a pilot in a plane. Like you got the gear, you got the stick, you got all these things, you got all these kind of ability to. You got comedy, you've got the series, they trust. There's the relevancy in the conversation. And it's being up to speed. It's inspiring players today, and you think, oh, everyone can do that. No, then it's also a plan. Like what is our we're going to put stakes in the ground, and this is who we're going to be. And everyone understands it. Then you can articulate it, and they get everyone to buy in. And then, you can go enact the plan. A lot of times, all the other stuff is commodity, and then they can't enact it. You don't have somebody that called the plays. Like, you get in there, and all of a sudden, everything just kind of falls apart because they don't have somebody that had the guts to call the play. And so, to me, it's getting the people around him that can articulate his plan for him, too. It's not just one coach. It's the group he brings in. And you're seeing all these young, innovative coaches have a great success in the NFL because they're able to communicate a set plan. You saw what Sean McDermott was able to do in Buffalo. You saw the year before with a lot of the same players, and a guy comes in with a plan. They can articulate everyone, take it in, and they can go enact it and do it on Sunday afternoon. And it's like all of a sudden they're a different team, and that's the kid. People think all we need is a quarterback. There are top 5 coaches too, and if they're just harder to see. You can't tell. You don't know. You watch the quarterback. You're like, I know this. I know these. You don't need to tell me whether he's good or bad. I can see it. The head coaches, they can shift and hide. You don't really know. But there are guys that are that good. And let's wait a little longer. But there are guys that are that good. And when you find them, they end up with coaching trees because they can articulate. You've seen what Sean McVay and his coaching tree, Kyle Shannon in his young career in his coaching tree. Once you know somebody has it, then the people around them have it too. And if Mike McDaniel in Denver, in Miami, is going to do great because he's seen it. He can articulate the same thing and take it out and make it happen. And you're going to have a great coach. And there are more great coaches than there have ever been in the NFL, but there's still only 15. And the same way with quarterbacks. There used to be 5 great quarterbacks. Now there's 10 or above average quarterbacks. Used to be 10, and now there's 20. Like the league's getting richer in that way.
I know fans think this way. I wonder if players think this way. Are the Packers tougher the beat for the Jets because the Packers are coming off a loss?
Yeah, because the Packers have been they've been relevant for a long time. They've been championship off and on for a number of years. They've got one of the best players in the history quarterback in them. It's human nature. You are more focused coming off a loss if you're a good team. Bad teams, it gets worse. But if you're a good team and you're coming off a loss, and in some ways embarrassing in the way that it went down, you're going to have more focus. And that's just, it comes out in preparation. They become much more difficult to beat, not on Sunday, but on Wednesday. Because that's when they come in and get the game plan, and now everybody's like super focused. They go home and study more. They turn off the TV. They don't watch Dancing with the Stars. They're in the book. And that makes it harder to beat them. And so, yes, it's harder to beat them off a loss, especially that one.
Talking with Steve Young, a special Thursday appearance on the Michael K. Show. Now, Steve, I think that somehow Prime Video on their Thursday night package got the old Monday night football package. So today it's the Guardians against the Bears.
Right.
And I want to ask you this question about Carson Wentz.
I don't think you want to say Guardians, though. I think you want to restate that.
I did. That's right. I'm sorry. Commies. So Carson Wentz, before he made that dive into the end zone and destroyed his knee, was going to win the MVP that year. He was phenomenal. Since that point, he's terrible. What happened? Is it physical? What happened?
My theory is that he, like Mitch Trubisky, are perfectionists. And the game is not a place of perfection. And they're so earnest in their effort to be perfect that they devolve. And I've watched that devolvement. They're still productive. Take Carson's productivity over the last 4 or 5 games. It's not a disaster. Like, there's productivity. It's just not. It ends up in it's overweight. It's over. It's how do I say it? He's overwrought is the word I'm looking for. He's overwrought about it all the time, and then it's like he's trying to do too much, and he's trying to do too little, and then he can't find the space, and he's running around. But what I do know is that he's not the problem. He's not part of the solution either. I'm okay with that. But for Ron Rivera to come after the game, and Ron's a friend, like, they ask him a simple question: what's the difference between you know, the NFC teams, like the quarterback? Really? That's how you're going to make this go down when you're a bottom feeder defense? Like, no. We recognize that Carson's a flawed quarterback right now. And a lot of it is self-inflicted. And a lot of it is also inflicted by where he is. But I'm okay to deal with that. I can look at it, and I think Carson hopefully would be able to look in the eye and say, look, I'm not getting it done. I get that. But what he did after the game, first of all, is disastrous for his team. It's not going to – let's rally them. Let's make the quarterback the scapegoat. The quarterback's already the scapegoat. You speaking it only speaks to you and how you feel about the world. Like, stop. And so anyway, Carson Wentz is I would like to restart with him. Like, can we go back and then work with him? And Mitch Trubisky, the same issue. They want to be so perfect that they're overwrought about it. And they don't know how to find a place of productivity. Like, the game is a game with 22 guys running around the field all over the place. Like, calm down. There's no perfect answer. There's never a perfect answer. There's just good answers. And take one of them. And then take another and another one. And quit trying to be perfect.
But why did it work for those 13 games?
It's because he was young and free.
Okay.
And it wasn't as it hadn't hardened. You know what I mean? Once it hardened, it's hard to change. It's hard to change the history. And it's also hard to change perception. I mean, in the NFL, it's so much more difficult to change perception in the NFL because you don't play every day. You know, you don't play. It's like every 7 days, and in those 7 days, perception hardens. Like, if you're not playing great, and the rest of the league sees you suck. By the time you go around the next week, the whole league has now hardened on you that you suck, and now you got to figure out a way to change the perception in 60 minutes, not over the next 4 games in the next 4 days. And it's super hard. And so once things kind of get entrenched, it gets into your brain, too, because you read it every day. You sit there for 7 days waiting, and football's not built for perfectionists, right? It's built for people that can rally and find solutions and find the best case scenario and just let's move on and not dwell on it. And some of the personalities just don't fit. And I would like to start over with Carson and with Mitch.
What does this do for Wilson for the first time, back-to-back wins, for the first time building off of something that happened the week before? How huge is that for a young quarterback?
In particular, the comeback win. I said this on, the NFL is the NBA. I'm overstating it, but you get the point that the game is so wide open that really, you kind of play around, and then it all happens in the fourth quarter. And the game was never that way in the old days. You couldn't just like wing it and then figure out but if you have a closer, when I say closer, I'm like Ja Morant, I'm talking about Kevin Durant, I'm talking about Steph Curry, I'm talking about LeBron. Like, you have a closer. Like, give me the ball, 3 more possessions, and I'm going to make it happen. And in the NFL, you kind of need that with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, You got these guys that are closers, and that's what you want. And so to me, I loved what I saw in that you can see that he has the aspects of a closer, which is really the hardest part of the job. The rest of it is more of a commodity. It doesn't mean he has to get better. He has to get a lot better. He has to deal with all, he hasn't had a good game where it's like, from beginning to end. He's got so much to do. But you can see why they drafted him. You can see what the capabilities are and what he can. And if he's kind of that free and open to be the closer that we hope him to be, let's work on the first 3 quarters and get that button down. But that's what I like. That there's this. I can, at least on the smell test, I can see into the future and say, wow, there's something here. Let's go get it and figure it out with him.
All right, big topic of conversation this week has been the odd way that roughing the passer is called. So Tom Brady gets a roughing the passer, and then an even worse and a more egregious throwdown on Patrick Mahomes doesn't get a flag. If you could press a button, Steve, would you take the guardrails off and let the quarterbacks actually play football?
Well, Troy Aikman said take the dress off, right?
Well, that's not politically correct, yeah.
Road. I know, but that's what he said.
Yep.
I mean, that's, I think, isn't that what he said?
Yeah, he said take the dress off, and he said people said he was misogynistic.
Yeah, well, I understand that. But what I'm saying is the league's rules, there's a big book of rules, 127 pages of rules. And the only rule that's in the rule book that says when in doubt, throw the flag is that one.
Right.
So what they've done is they've created the ability for the head referee to say, hey, it's closed, I'm throwing it. And that's what you're seeing. Because the rule says you can't dump him on his head, you can't fall on him, you can't hit him low, you can't hit him high. And so what we're all saying now is, well, you've made it so you can't hit him. And I think that's what's happening because the rule is the league's going to get in a jam because safety has drawn them to this place. And the idiot savant move and making it safer, they made it more. I was wrong. I thought making it safer would make it not as electrifying, is not as engaging. But the game is as engaging as ever been because it's less sophisticated, but it's super fast, it's super athletic, and it's wide open. And so in that way, they want to protect the quarterback. They're not going backwards. They're going to protect the quarterback because they know that's already been proven to be a worthwhile goal. Now, they get into a jam if all of us start talking about, well, this isn't football. If Troy Aikman can say that and it's like it's just not football, then people are going to stop watching more, and that's what the NFL doesn't want. So they have a little tightrope to run here. You got to be super careful. But I think that the bottom line for the rule is that they need to take away what's in the book. Like no longer, because what's happening is referees throw flags because they're going to be they want to referee in the Super Bowl. They want the grade. And if they're not afraid of the grade by throwing those flags because the rule says, when in doubt, what they're saying is don't worry about it. We're not going to grade you. Just throw the flag because we want to protect the quarterback.
All right. So
go ahead.
If it's that willy-nilly, then but it's a huge play. All right. It's not a false start.
Huge.
It's a huge
game
play.
Changing.
So why not do what Dan Orlovsky suggested? Make that reviewable. I'm not in favor of judgment calls being reviewed, but maybe a second glance from the official who threw the flag, he may then look at it and go, you know what, I was too quick. Let's pick the flag up.
Fine. I just think that those are like. It's going to be tough because they're going to say, well, he did kind of land on him. So, we're just going to grind into a fine dust. I think more than anything, you want referees to feel like they're going to be held completely accountable for the call. And they don't want to, they feel free to throw the flag because they are protected. And until they're unprotected, I don't know that it changes. Now, if you want to add more layers to the review, then it's a way to do it. But I just think so he comes in, the ones that we hated, he did Jones landed on him, like his body did land on him, like in some small way.
Right.
So you can say, well, we looked at it in slow motion, and it's still. So you're going to do a judgment again, like, well, you know what, in the big picture, because the game's on the line, and really, when you think about it, it shouldn't be. That's not a game-changing thing. So maybe let's just pick up the flag and go the other way, and people where are we going? I don't know if that's the solution in the big picture.
Now, ESPN today had an unbelievable expose on Dan Snyder that all the owners hate him, and he said the NFL ownership is like a mafia. He's got dirt on everybody. If they make him try to sell, he's going to bring everybody down. Do you have You have a take on this, Steve? It seems like it's ugly.
This is the worst. This is, Al Davis's challenges with the league are renowned and have, that was 5 or 7, 10, 15, 20 years of headline stuff between the two of them. That was all kind of legal battles and this is different. I mean, the owners, one of the things about Roger works really, really hard on, that's really his main job, is to keep those guys together, those men and women together. And if one of them turns on him and starts to spill, like, we all know that this could get really crazy really fast,
and they know it too.
And none of it good for the league. And I don't know whether maybe Daniel Snyder's maybe trying to scare, I think he is trying to scare everybody back into their corner. And I don't know. I mean, if you're an owner in the league, especially those that he's kind of targeted, sounds like he's, targeting them. You want to get into a mud fight with someone who's that desperate and wants to hold on to his asset, and you guys are supposed to back me, and everyone's kind of backed away from him. This could, you and I might think, oh, this is really interesting. It's bad for the league. It's bad for the because the league really rests on we all feel really good about the NFL. When we think about the NFL, we think about all the good that they do, and the things that don't go well, we kind of, look the other way because it's the NFL and it's embedded in our, generationally embedded in all of our families, and we back the Bills, we're the Mafia, like all that stuff is amazing what they've been able to put, and this is the kind of stuff that starts to erode that in a big way, and so I don't know. Let the truth come out, I guess. I don't know how else to say it.
Who has an advantage, Steve? Wink Martindale after spending all those years with the Ravens, or the Ravens knowing Wink Martindale?
I always chuckle at this a little bit. Like, I could, I'm a quarterback. I traded teams, and I know there's signals on the field. And I was like, so then he goes to the signal. He's like, it's a fade route. And, in that moment, do you really, how much do you really gain? We used to, in the division, we always worried about people stealing signals, and the team, guys would go to other teams, and what does they really know? Charles Haley's on the Cowboys. What's he telling them about our defense, about our offense? And in the long run, I felt like the worry and concern was more than the actual, difference that it made. Mm-hmm. And maybe because we won a lot of games, I didn't worry about it that much. But I don't know. I mean, knock yourself out. I think probably the coach who, coaches who know what's going on, it's more powerful. Players, not as much, just because we're a little bit more isolated. But, I guess a coach in that way.
Yeah, and the same can be said with Jets-Packers, too, with the LaFleur brothers.
Right. But again, you worrying about it and trying to figure out what they think, what you think, what they think, what you think, I think you spend more time getting away from what you just we'll go play great football, and we'll deal with it, So I think unless you think there's something really happening. I mean, we used to do the first 15 with Bill Walsh, and he used to have, the night before the game, he'd install them and he'd pass it out. First 15, you have a little piece of paper. And I guess somebody left it behind in some city, I think it was Washington, I can't remember, and some hotel guy found it, right? They're like, hey, I found the first 15, and somehow it made it to the other team. And then what is it? Does that matter? It's like, yeah, that matters. If you know the play that's coming, that's like, it goes back to Spygate. Like, if that's really true, you kind of, because you saw the foot, you kind of collated all of the signals, and then you saw the signal that you can look down the sheet and see what the play is, and that it's pass to Jerry Wright. Like, yeah, that's a severe advantage.
So did it work?
Where it is that it matters that people know what's coming. What's that?
Did it work? Did they have the plays?
They had the plays.
Did you have to change your plays?
Yeah. We didn't know. We didn't know. It was later when someone said, hey. Oh. It was like years later someone mentioned it.
So it did work.
Someone found a hotel. Yeah, I think it worked. Yeah.
All right, before we let you go, great game on Sunday. Buffalo, KC. KC's actually an underdog under Mahomes at home for the first time ever. Who do you like in that game?
I think I love these two teams. They're better than they've been the last couple of years when they were top of the league. The Chiefs are better underneath kind of under the hood with the offensive and defensive line. They're better where they needed to get better, so they didn't get beat in stupid places like that has been happening in championship game against the Bengals or in the Super Bowl against the Bucks. Like they got, so they're better. That's what's fun about watching the Chiefs. And the Bills are better. Better defense. Their offense again. Josh is better. So to me, these are two elite teams. Everyone else is sub-elite compared to those two teams. So it's going to be fun to watch them play. I don't know that it's quite to the 49er Dallas Cowboy early 90s when you knew that championship game was going to be the Super Bowl. It's not there, but it starts to feel that way a little bit with these two teams. I think they're just a cut above everybody else.
So you're not going to make a pick?
Doesn't sound like it.
Oh, you want me to make the pick?
Who do you like?
Make the pick. Oh, sorry. I wasn't trying to dance. I was just trying to give you some insight. Like, I don't know. I'm on the radio. I'm trying to give you what I got. I missed the show on Monday. I'm trying to make up for it.
You've been more than made up for it.
I'm overwrought. Like I told you, Carson Wentz.
Don't be overwrought.
Carson Wentz. I'm trying to be perfect. I'm trying to be perfect, and it's failing. Like I'm struggling.
No, not at all.
Who do I pick? I pick the Chiefs. I pick the Chiefs.
I think I do too. Well, you more than made up for Monday. I mean, you really did. And also, you're doing this on the arm. So, I mean, who are we to complain?
Yes.
We just have fun with you. We love you.
No, I felt terrible. Disrespectful.
Oh, stop.
And so my apologies go out. That's not me.
Have a great weekend.
We're in it together. That's for sure.
Yes, we are. For many years.
Boys,
there you go.
Take care.
That's the Steve Young Report brought to you by Bigelow Tea. Bigelow Tea is a proud supporter of the Michael Kay Show and the official hot tea of Joe Torre and the New York Yankees. FW Webb and Wild McLean. Turn to one of FW Webb's 100-plus locations for unparalleled Wild McLean inventory. Visit FWWebb.com to find a convenient location near you. And Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple blended, triple distilled, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Make sure to grab a Tullamore Dew during today's action. Remember, when it's game time, it's Tully time. Please, 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 please enjoy responsibly. I got a little something to uncover about the Jets, Don, and their 3-2 start.
Okay.
I got a little something to uncover. Maybe you've thought about it. You're very bright and almost brilliant, so I'm sure you might have thought about it.
Well,
but I'll see if you did. Because there's something different about this game this weekend. Something a little different.
Okay.
Kay, LaGreca, Rosenberg, and you right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
The Michael Kay Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
10 years ago, we started Untuck It out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. But we didn't stop with shirts. We also created so much more, from polos to sweaters to pants. We even have a line just for her. So everyone can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Try the original Untucked shirt and more today. Visit untuckit.com or your nearest store.
Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
A structured settlement and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
I am an annuity, but I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
PrizePicks is daily fantasy sports made easy. Simply pick the over-under on 2 or more players, and that's it. You can win up to 10 times your money in just one day. Download the PrizePicks app today and get your first deposit match up to $100.
The Yankees Division Series continues, and Yes is your home field advantage with extensive coverage from the network that knows the Bombers best. Pre-game, post-game, around every game.
11 wins seals the deal.
ALDS Game 2 pregame starts tomorrow at noon on Yes and the Yes app.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. I care deeply about creating a world we can all fully participate in, free from stigma, misperceptions, and barriers. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Rooted in communities nationwide, Easter Seals helps empower millions of people, regardless of age or disability, through its life-changing services and powerful advocacy. Today and every day, Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
Aaron Judge has set the New York Yankees single-season home run record. Celebrate this historic moment with this commemorative limited edition bat and ball with the official Aaron Judge logo. Call now or go to fanatics.com/Judge62 to order. This exclusive limited edition Aaron Judge logo bat and ball will be yours to cherish for a lifetime, honoring Aaron Judge in this historic moment in Yankees history. Go online or call 888-720-4036. That's 888-720-4036.
On the back staircase, you fell to your knees with tears in your eyes. I'll be your friend in the daylight again.
It starts out small, a stirring, a feeling. And then it grows until finally it gets so big that feeling becomes a connection. At the National Park Foundation, we call it wonder. And the only thing bigger is our mission to help it thrive.
Tied at 5 as we go to the bottom of the 11th. Here's Aaron Boone to lead off.
His first at-bat of the game. There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run. The Yankees go to the World Series for the 39th time in their remarkable history.
Hey everyone, I'm Ali Melendez. Join me for a brand new series, Well Life NYC, exclusively on the Yes app. We're taking a wellness journey to explore what New Yorkers are doing to be their happiest and healthiest selves. From workout classes,
Ooh, I feel good. I feel set up for success.
to relaxation, to finding the proper balance.
So fresh.
Let's get well, New York.
I am so excited to get into this. Let's do it. Woo!
Stream new episodes of Well Life NYC now on the Yes app.
Now we're tied at 5 as we go to the bottom of the 11th. Here's Aaron Boone to lead off.
His first at-bat of the game. There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run. The Yankees go to the World Series for the 39th time in their remarkable history.
Yeah. Well, through 20 years of the Michael K. Show, our listeners have become very enthusiastic about making and wearing customized K. Show t-shirts. We're excited to see new and creative t-shirts at all of our live broadcasts. So now, we'd like our listeners to show off their best work and get paid for it. It's called the Kayla Greco-Rosenberg By You Contest. Now, through Friday, October 14th, that's tomorrow, head over to ESPNNewYork.com and submit your best K-Show custom t-shirt design. Now, we'll select 3 finalists and put them up to a vote to award one winner $2,000 cash and 4 VIP tickets to the Michael K. Show 20th anniversary party on November 18th. So head over to ESPNNewYork.com for full contest rules and submit your entry today. All right, so here's the thing about the Jets this week. Don, I want to get caught up in it. I want to get caught up. I want to believe they've had enough tough times. But look at the Jets 5 games. Every game, they played backup quarterbacks, except for Mitch Trubisky, who was then lifted for Kenny Pickett. And Mitch Trubisky is essentially a backup quarterback anyway. Every game, they did not play the number 1 quarterback. So now they're going to play Aaron Rodgers. Do you really think this defense is going to be able to stop Aaron Rodgers? Now, if you watched the Dolphin game last week, the Jets blew them out in the 4th quarter. But the defense did not stop the run. And there was no threat of passing. The third string quarterback was not going to hurt you passing. So I'm finding it hard to make a compelling case, Don, to pick the Jets this week.
I'm with you. I'm with you kind of on both teams, Michael. A little less on the Giants just because of the schedule is a little bit different. But still, it's kind of the same premise. It's like, are these teams as good as their record says they are? Now, you should get excited because it's been awful for a decade. So the fact we've got winning teams here deep into October, meaningful games, there's hope. And for the Giants, it's coaching. For the Jets, it's talent. They've got way more talent than they had last year. But I do think that this could be a very humbling weekend for both of these teams because they're good teams. Packers are coming off a loss. They're a good team, great quarterback. And the Ravens, that's a different animal too, of a team that's coming off a win. I think not as good as the Packers, but still in a tough spot. And I don't want anybody jumping off the bridge if they lose this week either. I just think you gotta be careful to all of a sudden start talking about playoffs. And full disclosure, Peter and I got into it during our meeting because Peter is bringing up, well, what if this team goes 12-5? The Giants, they're not going to go 12-5, Michael. They're not good enough to go 12-5.
But you didn't think they were good enough to go 4-1 either.
No, but 4-1 is different than 12-5. 12-5 is meaning you're sustaining their start through the entire year.
But the coaching's not going to get worse. You would think that the wide receivers will come back.
No, but I do think that teams will go to school. It's going to get harder because they don't have a lot of talent. And the Jets, they've got talent, but, there's still question marks about, the coach. We still have to wonder, about the quarterback. Because, you bring up a good point. Nobody wants to say it because everybody was giddy about the win. But you're taking on a third-string quarterback all but the first, basic play of the game.
First play, yeah.
So that changes things. Now they deserve a lot of credit for how they blew them out in the 4th quarter, and the defense played well, and they came up with big plays offensively and all that. So it wasn't all just about that a third-string quarterback was playing in the game. But you look at the win against Cleveland, and it came down to the final moments. You look at the win against Pittsburgh, it came down to the final moments. And as Steve said, that's all important to be able to close and to be the better team in the 4th quarter. Those are all important elements. But the gorilla in the room, Michael, is the 3 quarters in which sometimes you left a little bit to be desired. And against certain teams like the Packers this week can probably expose that.
Now,
so I'm kind of with you is that, maybe these teams, especially – the Jets with who they have to play this week just might come down to earth a little bit.
Now, let's go into today's Big Blue Report brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings because it's funny. The Astros just took a 3-2 lead, by the way, bottom of the 6th inning over the Mariners, trying to go up 2-0 in the best of 5. But I'm surprised to hear you. I think they could beat the Ravens. The Ravens are not your father's Ravens because they don't play defense like they used to. And it looks like the Giant defense might be able to slow them down. And if anybody knows the secrets, it would be Wink Martindale, who spent the last decade there. So I would be a little disappointed if the Giants lost this game. I would not be disappointed if the Jets lose.
Maybe it's just a fan in me, Michael, because I'm not like a fan that just all of a sudden just hops on the bandwagon. I'm always looking for the other shoe to drop sometimes. But I think what they're doing is great. And that win against the Packers was just amazing. And to come back from 17-3 down, 20-10 down, that was really impressive. But I just think, the coaching it's such an important part of what you do. But, the lack of talent, they should get better defensively. Leonard Williams looks like he's going to play this week. Looks like Landon Collins is going to be in the lineup. So this defense can actually get better. I'm just saying from an offensive perspective. Already, Barkley was limited in practice today. Because let's not forget, he injured that shoulder against Green Bay. He did come back and he played well. But, is that sustainable too, Michael, relying so much on him for so many big plays? Never mind his injury woes from before. That's just a lot to put on one guy because he's really, maybe literally the only talented guy offensively. I mean, he's got otherworldly talent. I'm not sure everybody else on this offense does. that it'll be interesting. I'm with you. I think this is more winnable than it is for the Jets because the Jets are going to a hostile environment against a team coming off a brutal loss. And the Ravens did win last week, and the Ravens have, they've been struggling this year. But it's a really good quarterback. It's a nice test for both teams. And I'm not ready to jump off the bandwagon if they both were to lose. It's just this is going to be a really interesting weekend. Michael, 5-1. I mean, 4-1's one thing. 5-1, like that would just be incredible start to the season. I hope it happens, but I do think there could be some losing for both of these teams because you just don't go from what they were to all of a sudden completely turning it around and becoming a playoff team overnight.
All right, here are the odds that we have right now, okay? The Giants are just 5-point underdogs. 5-point underdogs, yeah. So you get 5 with the Giants playing the Ravens. That'll be in Jersey. Jets at Lambeau, it's 7 points. Now it's 7.5. It's gone up to 7.5. So those numbers are lower than I thought. I thought the Jets would be a bigger underdog than that, didn't you?
Yeah, considering that last week, I believe the number ended up resting at, 8? For the Packers favored over the Giants. Now that technically was a Packer home. That was technically a Packer home game, but that's a neutral site.
But I think it went up to 9.5 at one point too.
Yeah. So I think people are starting to believe in this Jets team, and I think people are starting to wrap their mind around the fact that maybe this Packer team isn't as good as they thought at the beginning of the year. But I still think that number is a little bit low.
Yeah, me too.
But it hasn't been all Brady's fault in Tampa. There's a lot of issues there, injuries and all that. But I mentioned this to somebody on Sunday when the Giants won that game. I think we have to realize that we're seeing an end of an era. We are definitely on the back nine for Brady, definitely on the back nine for Rodgers. It looks clearly on the back nine for Russell Wilson. Some of the great quarterbacks in this league, Michael, we're starting to see that there's some kinks in the armor for these guys and that it's not just you just can't play forever. Russell, I'm a little surprised it's happened as quickly as it did. And maybe it is because of injury, but he's been completely ineffective. Rodgers doesn't look the same. Brady's coming down a little bit. Are we starting to see the end of what was maybe one of the greatest eras of quarterbacking that we've seen maybe ever?
I don't think it's over yet. I think he needs more. Help. Maybe we'll get Gronkowski to get out of retirement. By the way, was that a Yordan Alvarez 2-run home run the other way? Yeah. So that's how the Astros take the lead. He's special. Anyway, that's a Big Blue Report brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Join everyone at Buffalo Wild Wings for buy one, get one half off traditional wings every Tuesday. Buffalo Wild Wings are the greatest of all times. Valid at participating locations while supplies last. There you have it. When we come back, we'll talk Yankees. They got rained out tonight. They'll play tomorrow afternoon. And then ENN after that. It's Kayla Greca, Rosenberg, and you on Yes and 98.7 ESPN. Texas, only minutes from where Andy Pettitte grew up. And tonight, Andy Pettitte will make the final big league start of his career. Moments ago, Andy Pettitte made his way in from the bullpen in left center field. The final time he'll make that walk as a starting pitcher in the big leagues.
A lot of the family members on hand to watch him in his final start. Imagine what's going through his mind.
18 years of work comes down to this. A 2-1 lead, bottom of the ninth inning, pitching close to his hometown for the New York Yankees. Grounded to third, this could be it. Nunez across the diamond. Yankees win 2-1, and Andy Pettitte completes his career with a complete game. What a way to go.
Man, I just thank God for the opportunity to play this game in the pitch, and man, it's awesome.
With Drizzly, I can shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor. I just open the app, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes. Drizzly also lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
Ukraine remains under attack. Millions of people have fled. AmeriCares is meeting the health needs of people caught in this crisis, and we are ready to do more. Let's work together. Learn how at americares.org/help-Ukraine.
Do you want to meet a family with a transgender kid? Here we are. We love our kids unconditionally, and we will never stop fighting for them. Stand with us. Protect our families.
I was younger, I may have did some stupid things. Even committed some crimes. Even got shot. But I'm not a criminal.
I work for youth advocate programs, yeah. I was Tamani's advocate, helping him stay out of jail, stay in the neighborhood, and get a job.
As a little kid, I experienced trauma and I acted out. Made some mistakes, but I'm not a mistake.
No, she's a good student and a great kid. As Jalen's YAP advocate, I'm always here for her.
Lots of times I'm told what I can't do. What's impossible for people like me is enough to make you lose hope. But I am not hopeless.
No way. We're working together to help Gavin see his talents and his future.
YAP is a community-based alternative to youth incarceration, congregate placement, and neighborhood violence. After completing our program, 86% of participants were living in their communities, arrest-free.
And now, I'm a YAP advocate, helping kids like me find a better way.
Youth advocate programs. Others talk social change. We make it happen.
Tired of food storage containers that clutter up your fridge and cabinets?
Fed up with cling wrap and foil that doesn't keep your food fresh?
Well, now you can go ahead and forget about it. George and Mary Beth here with another incredible invention.
Skinny Stacks, the all-new tray storage system that keeps your food fresher longer. So you simply put your food in the tray and snap, it's closed.
Then set the freshness tracker. Now, stale, dried-up food is a thing of the past.
And freezer burn?
Forget about it.
Look, ordinary containers, foil, or cling wrap allows air to get inside and spoil your food. But the unique silicone cover on the Skinny Stacks stretches to fit over your food, pushing air out and locking in freshness with an airtight seal. You can really see the difference. This super stretchy silicone lid stretches to fit virtually any kind of food, like these avocados.
And this thick-cut watermelon. And how about this huge grapefruit?
How about this entire chicken? And the stackable design lets you neatly store just about anything. Take your fridge from this to this.
Use Skinny Stacks to take your snacks and foods to parties.
Just remove the lid and serve from the tray. It's perfect for taking meat from the fridge straight to the grill the easy way.
And the see-through lid makes it easy to see what's inside.
Plus, the tray is microwave safe and cleanup's a breeze because they're dishwasher safe.
Skinny Stack's stackable design will save you space in your fridge and cabinets.
Keep your food fresh the easy way with Skinny Stacks.
You can get Skinny Stacks on Amazon. But if you buy directly from us, you can get them for just $19.99 plus process and handling. That's 2 Skinny Stacks for the lowest price, guaranteed. And if you don't love Skinny Stacks as much as I do, no problem. Just send them back within 30 days for a full refund. So scan the QR code, call, or order on our website and get your Skinny Stacks today.
Hey everyone, I'm Ali Melendez. Join me for a brand new series, Well Life NYC, exclusively on the Yes app. We're taking a wellness journey to explore what New Yorkers are doing to be their happiest and healthiest selves. From workout classes,
Ooh, I feel good. I feel set up for success.
to relaxation, to finding the proper balance.
So fresh.
Let's get well, New York.
I am so excited to get into this. Do it.
Woo! Stream new episodes of Well Life NYC now on the Yes app.
Get trending with off-field fashion.
Whoa, now that is a fly outfit.
As some of the best designers from FIT style celebrities from the sports world and beyond. Stream off-field fashion exclusively on the Yes app.
Well, this season marks the 50th anniversary of New York Islanders hockey. Here's your chance to score Islanders tickets for Saturday's game at UBS Arena against the Anaheim Ducks. Be caller number 4 right now at 888-987-ESPN to win. If you don't win, you can still join in on the fun this season by grabbing your tickets right now at NewYorkIslanders.com. All brought to you by the New York Islanders. You can hear the Islanders game tonight. First game of the season from UBS on 10:50 a.m. And Donna's in Minnesota. You can hear that game at 7:30, starting 7:30 coverage. Game time is at 8. What was I going to say?
Not sure.
No.
You would. Why don't you tease? You teased Yankees.
Yeah, well, it's time for Diamond Notes, as you know. Brought to you by London, the engagement shop at London Jewelers. Before we go Yankees, so Alvarez hits the home run to win Game 1. Then they're down 2-1 in the 60th. It's an opposite field home run, 2-run shot to give them a 3-2 lead, talking about the Astros. You want to talk about some of the worst trades of all time. This one has to be on the list, Don. So Yordan Alvarez was signed by the Dodgers as an amateur.
Right.
He never played a minor league game yet. And they traded him in August of 2016 because they were trying to bolster their bullpen for the playoff run. They got back Josh Fields and gave up Yordan Alvarez.
Wow.
Yordan Alvarez won the Rookie of the Year. He's going to win an MVP someday. He's finishing third this year, in all likelihood, behind Judge, Ohtani, and then Alvarez. So that's a special, special player. And the Dodgers said it's, Andrew Friedman said, they asked for several players before him, and I said, no, I should have said yes to those first couple they asked for. He said, but he says it was a terrible mistake.
You got to scout yourself, right?
Yeah, they didn't even know what they had.
But sometimes, sometimes players are late bloomers. Maybe at the time it was the right move based on what they had seen. But, look at David Ortiz in Minnesota, right?
Yep. He was just released.
I don't think anybody ever saw that, what happened in Boston when he was in Minnesota here with the Twins. So hey, it happens. But that Astro team, the resiliency they have, and Seattle's giving them everything they can handle, and it doesn't seem like any lead's safe.
I think the Astros are just better than Seattle. There's no knock on Seattle. Astros are the best team in the American League. If you're going to beat them, you're going to have to upset them.
Well, they're the best team in the American League. They're the second best team in baseball. They have 105 wins to the Dodgers 111.
Right. If they win this series, they would have gone to the American League Championship Series 6 years in a row. That's dynastic to do that. And they do it with different players, too. So Yankees got rained out against the Guardians today. It was going to be tonight at Yankee Stadium. It's pouring in the Bronx right now, according to people. So it looked like it was the right call by Major League Baseball. This is not a Yankee call, not a Guardian call.
No.
Major League Baseball call. They control postponements in the postseason. So the game's going to be made up at 105, which means that games 2 through 5, if needed, will be in a row. Game 2, 107 tomorrow. After the game, they get on a charter flight, go to Cleveland. Then game 3 will be Saturday. Game 3 will be Saturday. Game 4 will be Sunday in Cleveland, and they get on a charter flight, come back to Yankee Stadium, and play Game 5 at Yankee Stadium on Monday, if needed. Now,
all-night games.
All-night games. So the big complaint I keep hearing, it's not fair, it throws your pitching out of whack. The way it was lined up with the off days, Bieber starts against Cortez, and if there was a Game 5, then you can have to start Bieber on 3 days rest and Cortez on 3 days rest. Now, we had Aaron Boone on earlier, said Cortez might still pitch if there's a Game 5, but more or less in a role where he sees a lane to start him, where he could face their left-handed batters. But for all those whining, I'll say what I said at the beginning of the show. Game 2, Cole. Game 2, Cortez. Game 3, Severino. Game 4, on full rest, Garrett Cole. Win 2 of those 3 games, you don't have to win. You don't have to worry about Game 5. If you lose 2 of those 3 games, that's on you. Not on the weather. It's on you. And, by the way, of the 2 teams, the Yankees probably have the best 4th starter. So Savali is not better than Tyone. Look at Tyone's record. And he didn't even get a start in the series. Going to pitch out of the bullpen. Don, if they can't win 2 with Cortez, Severino, and Cole, it's on them. There shouldn't be a Game 5.
Well, absolutely. I think they're superior. You saw it in Game 1. You saw it all season, really. And Michael, trying to project out, because that's what you do, right? Because every series kind of connects to the next one. That's the beauty of baseball, is that I don't think there's a scenario in which they lose this series. The equivalent of a loss for the Yankees is having to play a Game 5. Because if Houston takes care of Seattle, they're going to have all their pitching lined up, and do the Yankees want to have to play a desperation Game 5? Never mind the fact that they're facing elimination. That goes unsaid. Mm-hmm. But what they might have to do to win that game, and then you kind of go in stumbling against the Astros in Houston after they're all ready and they've got their pitching lined up and well-rested. I mean, I think going Game 5, not a disaster, Michael, but you should be able to avoid that. And as you like to say, you don't have a kick coming if you've got to go through all of the trials and tribulations of a Game 5. That would be on you.
Yeah. So stop the complaining. The rain stinks. The people I feel bad for today are the people who had tickets to the game and had made plans to go, and now they have to rearrange their whole life. Many people work on Friday. Right. Most people do. And now you got to get out of work to go to a 107. I feel badly for those people. But for the teams, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
No, but the fans have a right to complain, and, you know, some people might not be able to change their plans and just flat out not go.
Right.
You know, and I'm sure if you look at the secondary market right now, I haven't, but I'm sure there's a lot of tickets available because of, you know, you might have been taking a family expecting the kids to be out of school, and the kids have to go to school, and you have a job that you can't get out of work, you know, can't call in sick. You know, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are stuck there throwing their tickets on a secondary market to sell them, and maybe at a loss because they can't go.
Well, that would be my advice to people that have never been to a playoff game because it's too expensive. If you go on the secondary market, I think you'll get a deal for tomorrow's game. I really do. Because there are people that, listen, if you can afford playoff tickets, you're probably working on a Friday afternoon. Probably. I don't want to paint everybody with a broad stroke. Probably have a job if you can afford those tickets. So now you probably can't get out of the job at such a short notice, and those tickets will be available. They're trying to get rid of them, even at a loss. So if you want to go to a playoff game and money has been an issue, and I understand that completely, maybe tomorrow you could take advantage of somebody's misfortune. That was the Diamond Notes, brought to you by 2 by London, the engagement shop by London Jewelers. Picker designed the perfect engagement ring to fit every budget at any of their 6 area locations. We have about 30 seconds, Don.
Yes.
So I was talking with somebody, and they said, well, of all the Met free agents, who do you think is the one they have to sign? And I said, well, I think Diaz, but if it gets up to $20 million a year, I might pass, because big money relievers seem to fizzle out, and he's coming up his best year. But I want to sign him. The other guy I want to sign is Nimmo.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It's nothing that pops out to the average person, but watching him every day, that would be a tough loss.
I don't think he's a great player by any stretch, and he's not going to come cheap, Don, because he switched agents to Scott Boras.
There you go.
So he's from Wyoming, I believe. Maybe Colorado takes a run at him. But that would be a tough loss. I'm sorry. If Jacob deGrom wants more money than Max Scherzer, thank you. Thank you for your service. We love you. We're not going there. Not for a guy who's completely up in the air when it comes to health. I'm not going to do it.
No, if it's going to cost upwards of $50 million, Michael, even for Cohen, because where does it stop? If you bring everybody back, Michael, at the money that they're going to want, where's the payroll going to be?
I don't think it's going to be astronomical as everybody thinks. I think he's going to play somewhat nice with the owners, and I think he's going to always hover around $300 million. He had the top rate payroll this year, but if you expect him to take the payroll of $450 million, not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He'll get drummed out of the league somehow. ENN is a special vehicle tonight, Donnie, because Anthony Pusick is going to do it. Why?
I hope he's not nervous. There's nothing to be
nervous about. Anthony, are you nervous? Because this is a big deal.
Yeah, there's a lot riding on this. There's no bigger ENN than a rained-out Game 2 Yankee game.
Yeah.
This is big.
So Don says don't feel the pressure. I think you do feel it, and I think that you use it because pressure is a privilege.
That's right.
Embrace the madness.
Yeah. ENN, how's it going to be? Coming up next, right here on Yes at 98.7 ESPN.
Ten years ago, we started Untuckit out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide. It's been quite a journey. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. With great fabrics and design at the perfect untucked length, so you can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Just look for our signature sale. Untuckit, 10 years in the making, and we're nowhere close to stopping. Visit untuckit.com or your nearest store today.
It's raining. It's pouring. During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous. So the next time a storm is coming, trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary.
Wow, it's so clear. It's dusk, but I can really see.
Oh, wow. Honestly, for how dark it is out here right now, these are incredible.
Battle Vision Storm uses light-optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, Sleet or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. And they're not just for storms. They turn night to bright, even in perfect weather.
I used to hate driving at night. The traffic lines were hard to see. The lights from oncoming traffic were blinding. I feel so much safer driving in the evenings now.
Blinding sunlight or headlights cut the glare instantly. Dark traffic signs, see them with confidence. Blurry lane markers, turn clear and visible. Wow! Even objects in your side and rear view mirrors are easier to see. And Battle Vision Storm go head-to-head with the toughest conditions. Whether you're driving through smoke-filled air from wildfires, or you're on a boat getting crushed by the sea, and they're guaranteed for life. Get your Battle Vision Storm for just $19.99. Order right now, and we'll send you a second pair absolutely free. That's 2 Battle Vision Storm glasses for just $19.99. This TV offer is not available on Amazon. Order now.
Call 1-800-841-9247. That's 1-800-841-9247, or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-841-9247 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. Order now.
With Drizzly, I can shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor. I just open the app, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes. Drizzly also lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
PrizePicks is daily fantasy sports made easy. Simply pick the over-under on 2 or more players, and that's it. You can win up to 10 times your money in just one day. Download the PrizePicks app today and get your first deposit match up to $100.
You see, son, with a little elbow grease, you can do just about anything.
Thanks, Dad.
That's right, Robert. And it's never too early to learn you could save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
That's right, Jamie. But it's not just about savings. It's about the friends we make along the way.
You said it, Flo. And don't forget to floss before you brush. Your gums will thank you.
That's right, Dr. Gary.
Jamie?
Sorry, I had another thought, so I got back in line.
What was it?
I can't remember.
Centers a base hit. 4-1 New York. 4-1 Matsui. The 3-1 pitch is hit in the air into right center field. 6 RBIs.
Has anyone ever had a better World Series clinching game than Matsui?
Get your weekly roundup of everything Pinstripes on Yankees Magazine.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
New episodes every Wednesday on Yes and the Yes app.
Now we're tied at 5 as we go to the bottom of the 11th. Here's Aaron Boone to lead off.
His first at-bat of the game. There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run. The Yankees go to the World Series for the 39th time in their remarkable history.
This is ENN.
On TV.
Ray Rowe.
And I'd like to start off, if I can, by saying good evening to Michael.
Guardians against the Bears.
That's unfortunate. And hi, Don.
Amazon should change their name to Repug Prime.
Oh, my.
That was very good. Hi, Peter.
Major League Baseball, where men dress up in tight pants and swing a stick at a ball.
That's 2 straight days and nothing from Peter.
Well, you know, he brought a lot to the table from 5 to 6. And good evening to all of you.
I'm so sick of these meetings, I just tune out. But I'm listening.
Yeah, there was no need to say what you said, Michael.
Well, I don't say anything. I mean, we're actually debating what we would be debating on the air. I am not leaving it out there for free. I'm not doing it.
Somebody could be listening, could ruin the whole show.
Well, also, the second time I say something is not going to be as good as the first time. Let everybody else talk. They love to talk.
You know, it's great. But I think Anthony, who's on these meetings, because they're virtual, so we see your face. This the look of disgust.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Just for you, Don. I'm going to shut off the camera.
No camera.
I'll be on, just like Peter does a lot.
I'm not criticizing you. I'm just telling you that it goes beyond you not wanting to you have a phrase we can't repeat on the air.
Right.
That really encapsulates how we feel about, like, redoing the show live because we did a show during our meeting.
Let me ask you this,
But
Michael.
Your look of disgust goes beyond just that.
Would you feel better about the meeting if you were able to do it nude?
No, I don't want the meeting.
Okay.
These meetings were supposed to be 10 minutes. Now they've extended to 30. And Winthrop and Hurley do their own show. Not interested.
Let's hear from Aaron Boone while we're at it, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Hit mute.
Or he was trying to avoid the Chapman question. But no, Boonie's always a good sport.
Or died because, people are very concerned about
the coughing is just, it's too much.
He's got a lot going on.
I mean,
It's
it's been for a month now.
I hope he's okay. Well, he has a rest today because if you haven't heard or lived under a rock or looked outside, Game 2 of the ALDS between the Yankees and Guardians tonight is postponed because it is raining. It's going to rain all night. And now Michael gets to spend the day in Stamford. The game will be tomorrow at 1:07. Nestor Cortez will start Game 2, and there won't be the extra day off. And we did ask Aaron Boone about how that would impact.
Can I stop you for 1 second, though?
Oh, please do.
Oh, no.
This is something that's going to be great on our show. All right, so you can have the game on, right?
You mean
on TV?
Uh-huh.
And then you have to listen to our show because the end of the game, I'm going to be on the show with Don and Peter, and we'll be doing in real-time breakdown of what's going on in nail-biting time in Game 2.
That's a great
Never
point.
before been done.
I've talked with Greek, by the way. Tomorrow's a sandwich situation with the show. We're going to have show, post-game, and then most likely come back to the show, along with you, Michael.
Wow. Yeah, I'll be on all parts of the sandwich.
Oh, the big sandwich. It's a big K sandwich.
I don't know.
What's the sandwich with the ugly stuff in it? What's that kind of meat?
The ugly
pimento.
stuff.
It looks like bologna, but it's got like olives in it.
Olive loaf?
No, is it olive loaf?
I think.
That's disgusting.
There's also this sandwich.
I want it to be the cream filling of a Kirkshin sandwich.
Oh, my God.
Please, I interrupted ENN. I'm sorry. I just want to do a promo for the show tomorrow starting at 3.
No, not at all. No, it was a great promo.
You really have to tune in at 3.
All right, so let's all try to place a little bit friendly wager here.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to say 3 o'clock show opens. We're bottom 5.
No.
Okay.
No.
Where do you think we are, Michael?
Top 7.
Yeah, I was thinking more 7th inning as well.
Yeah.
I'll say,
Top 7.
I'll say bottom 7. I'll be different. Peter?
Major League Baseball, where men dress up in tight pants and swing a stick at a ball.
All right, he's
I just
checked
hope
out.
I can get the game on at the Peg.
At the Peg. That's right. Don
A lot of Yankee fans in Winnipeg, seriously.
Don will be chartering. And Don, where are you right now? Anyway.
I'm at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, that's right, because tonight on 98.7,
Ray-Ro.
you'll have Dan Grassa for half an hour, rapid fire show, followed by pregame, which I think is also done by Dan Grassa, at 7:30. Then you'll hear Don LaGreca and Dave Maloney from Minnesota doing the Ranger game. That's all on 98.7. Wow. And, of course, tonight,
Ray-Ro.
10:50, Islanders start the
go.
season against the Panthers. So it's a pretty big night,
Well,
even though the Yankees were rained out. Pretty big night.
We're staying for whatever reason in Minneapolis.
Why?
So about 20 minutes away from St. Paul.
Why don't you go to the casino with John Giannone tonight?
I wept
on
my way for the morning skate and for the show on the way because we passed the Vikings football stadium, which is absolutely gorgeous.
And then you thought about MetLife.
Ugh.
And I thought about the Venetian blinds.
Do you realize that every stadium that was made after MetLife just looks so much, not even
I have
a little
to
better?
correct you. Every stadium made before MetLife looks better. Because Jerry World was before MetLife, and that's still the best.
And we love the Giants and the Jets, especially the Jets. But, I mean, come on, guys.
Be
It
better.
could have been a little better. It could have been
Be
a little
better.
And that's what we strive to be better.
Yep.
Here. We strive to be better. Now, Aaron Boone on the show at 4 today, which you can hear on our podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. But let's take a listen to how he thought pitching would look in Game 5 now that the day off has been taken away from Nestor Cortez and the pitching staff.
We'll still have JMO available tomorrow, and then we'll kind of adjust as the series unfolds. If you got into a Game 5 scenario, I'd like to think that Nestor would be available on some level, especially for some of their lefties in their lineup to give you another lefty, even if it's for an important inning or something. So, we'll adjust as we have to, but, we got a chance to go out and hopefully get another W and another step forward.
Well, I think he could use Tyone tomorrow.
Right.
He can't use him in Game 3 and 4 if he's going to start with him in Game 5.
No. And in other words, for you, Michael, like you said, not ideal, but you have a situation here where your 3 best pitchers are pitching. You need to win 2 games. Don't worry about Game 5.
Yeah, do it.
Just go on and win the game.
Well, I mean, you do have to plan for Game 5, so you can't use Tyone in games, definitely in Game 5, in Game 4, and you probably can't use him in Game 5 if you want to start him in Game 5. So, or you can't use him in Game 3 if you want. So the only time you can use him is tomorrow. How about that? That's the only one you could use him.
Agreed.
And they had planned to use him a lot in the bullpen. He was warming up in Game 1.
Yeah, he was.
Hey, Don, speaking of a podcast, do you know that caught offside, the Andrew Gunling, J.J. Devaney vehicle has moved to Apple?
Nice.
I try every day.
Yeah.
I got a very nice emotional goodbye from JJ on Twitter today. You did too, and so did Peter.
Yeah, I got one as well.
Very nice of him.
Because it is, they are, of course, now that Andrew has left ESPN, JJ also, because he was part of the podcast, he's no longer part of the ESPN family, and that's somebody, JJ was somebody that we saw more in the pandemic than anybody else, because he'd come up and do the show with Andrew.
I have no use for JJ. He almost took out Charlie's eye, so.
He did almost kill Charlie. That did happen.
This really shows you what a great person you are that you even invited him to the barbecue.
Right.
And that's how he repaid
He had
you.
no business being there, let's be honest.
Right.
Well, if Yankee fans didn't hear it, I know on Twitter everybody was asking about it. Let's hear Aaron Boone's response about what happened with Josh Donaldson and the home run that wasn't.
First of all, this is different than the others. This is different than, the one where he hit the double off the wall. And this is a different circumstance altogether in that he hit the ball, got out of the box in the correct way, watching the flight of the ball like you should, and then you're going to react to how it goes off the wall. Now, it was a mistake in that not only him, our first base coach, and the stadium with the lights going off, everyone thought it was a homer, so then he put his head down and started to go into his trot before realizing, oh, it wasn't a homer. So this was different than him, earlier in the year when he hit a ball and thought it was out and went into his home run trot, and then it hits off the wall and he tried to make up. So, no, I don't worry about it. Josh Donaldson is hooked up, is a gamer, is ready from pitch one, and it wasn't ideal the other night, but I have no issue or concern that Josh isn't putting everything into the game.
Turns out the Fox cameraman that was working the Yankee-Red Sox game when Judge hit the ball into center field and it looked like it went to the moon, he was the one that took over the lights and everything else at Yankee Stadium last night.
I don't know the timing of it because I couldn't really. I was calling the Ranger game, so I didn't see it live. Could the stadium have been reacting to Donaldson?
Everyone was reacting to everybody, it seemed like.
I don't know.
I mean, the first base coach high-fived him like it was
right.
gone.
I mean, but Aaron's arguing different things.
First of all, I never said that Donaldson doesn't hustle.
Right.
I say he styles, which sometimes is going to get you in trouble, and it will. But when I call games, I don't say see ya until I see the umpire make a circular motion with his hand. So I can't. When Aaron said you don't look for that, really? Well, that's the official go into a home run jog.
Hey, he thought it was gone because obviously when he hit it, Michael, he must have thought it was easily gone because from where even if it just scraped the back of the wall, gone, right? You're not going to know that until you're probably near first base anyway. So why aren't you busting it rounding first base at that point? So. He's arguing against the fact that he's not lazy. But that's not the argument because we agree he's not lazy. All right, that's the old adage. Well, when you style, that means you're being lazy. No, it's just that there's something about the modern-day athlete that likes to style and have fun over sometimes just doing the right thing, putting your head down and running and then not getting in that situation. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. There's zero excuse for what happened to him. Put your head down, hustle. It's not like the Alvarez home run that went 438 feet, Michael. That was going to be a home run that went, what, 330?
Yeah, it would have been Port's job. It would have been one of those home runs that only would have been a home run in the Bronx.
Right. So what would be so wrong? It's kind of like with the Buck thing. Like, what's the negative? What would be the negative? Putting your head down, busting it around second base, just in case what happened. Like, what's the negative to that?
Well,
what, you didn't get the style? Next time.
Boone's always going to protect his players, and that's part of what he does. And I agree, it was not like the 2 times during the regular season. But still, there's no excuse.
But sorry, it doesn't fix the lamp,
Also,
Michael. You've already done it twice.
You don't
get the benefit
You
of
don't
the doubt.
put your head down like that either, and you get thrown out at first base. Even if he stopped at first, it's preferable than getting thrown out. You know, he was in the full home run jog, and you're right. And even Aaron said it. Travis Chapman made a mistake, the first base coach, and he didn't even realize it. But the runner would have been out even if he wasn't out because the coach touched a player when the ball was live.
Right. Everybody got fooled. Just don't put yourself in a situation to get fooled.
And the way the Yankees celebrate those home runs now, they shut off the lights in the stadium.
Right.
And then it's a really cool effect. So once that happened, I guess Donaldson is absolved of some blame. But everybody was wrong. Doesn't mean that they're all right because they were all wrong. If you know what I mean.
But there are certain. It's hard for us not playing. But kind of like hockey tonight, there are times where the goal it'll sound and you think it's a goal because you'll hear the horn.
But you got to see the
red
ref's
light
arm.
will go on inadvertently. But if you don't hear the whistle, they keep playing, right? I mean, so there's certain things that you should rely upon. Well, the umpire twirling his hands, that's the only signal you should be looking for. Not the person hitting a button for the home run lights. That's not official.
Well, Donaldson will get a chance to redeem himself tomorrow. Michael, coverage starts at 12 on Yes?
Yes, an hour before the first pitch.
Hour before first pitch 107. So, Yes, we'll have all the coverage of that. We will be on at the start of our show.
Ray
Row only 3 o'clock. Michael will join us.
No, it's not Ray Row only.
No, that's right.
With the beginning of our show, you said it's a sandwich proposition.
No, it is the sandwich. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking Yankee game.
Right.
Obviously, they're going to cover the game,
Yeah,
but
see?
no. TVS vehicle at 107. We will be on 3 o'clock on
TV.
Ray Row.
TV and Ray Row.
And I say
then
bottom
post game,
Ray Row.
Ray Row only. Michael leaves us, then Michael comes back. Then we get
TV.
Ray Row.
the TV Ray Row sandwich. Everybody,
I
has
hope
everybody
so.
got that? Are we clear now?
Listen, we got to be careful. We want Michael back.
Of
Yes,
course we
all of a
want
sudden
Michael
they
back.
start getting chatty on these post games.
So
Who do you think? Who do you think? Is it Jack? Is Jack the chat? It's all the Fordham guys. It always
I'll
is.
tell you what. Here's the deal, Don. Between periods today, first and second period, why don't you call one of the executives at Yes and make your case? Do it, Don. They like
I'll
you.
text Flip. 90 minutes, really? We need Michael back.
We had a lot of thoughts about the
At
show
least
in
let
the
you
group chat
go.
yesterday.
I'm kind of a.
Can't they let you go
kind of an
early?
important cog, you know.
Michael is an important cop.
They did a whole regular season without you.
Now, there's a game on tonight that we haven't mentioned.
What?
On Amazon Prime, if you choose to. Now, everybody's locked in. You guys have made it interesting, so I give you guys credit, because now I'm locked in, because I wasn't going to watch this game all that much. Turned to Prime, I would have watched the Rangers exclusively, but now that everybody's got the Washington Commanders, including Aaron Boone, and you guys made it your point plays. I mean, we have to go Washington football team -1, but as if that wasn't enough for the Washington football team today, a bombshell story on ESPN from Don Van Natta Jr., Seth Wickersham, and Tisha Thompson, who said Commanders boss Daniel Snyder claims he has dirt on the NFL owners and Roger Goodell. Van Natta was on KJM, and he was asked, how long has Snyder been digging up the dirt on owners?
He has been making claims of this to people close to him, associates, confidants, that he has dirt on a number of owners, several owners, including Jerry Jones, by the way. He's told a fellow owner that, as well as people in the league office and Commissioner Roger Goodell. And he's been saying it more frequently in recent months as he's become more and more nervous that there might be a vote among the owners to remove him as owner of the Commanders.
Now, keep in mind, there's a laundry list of things that Daniel Snyder is currently being investigated about, things that he's been accused of that would make this relevant, because there are plenty of owners that probably want him removed as the owner because it's a bad look for them. But if he has all this dirt on everybody, guys, is anybody really going to oust him?
Here's the deal. A lot of managers don't check for a pitcher loading up the baseball because their own house is not in order.
Right.
So other owners know what they do. And if this guy's promising to bring people down, he will. He'll make it. You know what? I have a lot of that in me, too. If somebody tried to bring me down and I had stuff on people, I'm not going down alone.
Well, you told us that story, right, Michael, where someone called down to the dugout saying, you know, you got to go check. You got to go check the guy. He might be doing something, and the manager said, "Well, you know, we're doing it too."
LaRussa, right?
No, it was George Steinbrenner calling down to Lou Piniella.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he said, you got to check. I think Tommy John was pitching for the Yankees, and George said, I want you to go out and check this guy. He goes, we can't. Our guy's loading it up, too. I don't know if it was Tommy John, but it was definitely in that era.
Well, let's say he's got some dirt on Jerry Jones and a couple of other owners.
What dirt could there be on Jerry, anyway?
Listen, I know I'm not the biggest Jerry Jones fan, but I think even Michael will agree. The NFL could survive if Jerry Jones, didn't own the Cowboys, okay? But the one thing that the NFL cannot survive is a scandal involving their commissioner, because the commissioner works for all the owners. So if the commissioner's doing something, then the other 32 owners are in on it too, because he's their boss.
Right.
They're his boss. So, Michael, I think that's even bigger. Unless they're just going to all just throw Goodell under the bus, fire him, and bring somebody else in. But if I know everybody laughs at me when I bring this up, whether it's scandals, the concussion situation. Nothing lasts forever, and I know the NFL is a beast right now, and it just seems inconceivable there can ever be anything that can bring down the NFL. But things like this are what starts to see the foundation go, right? This is how dynasties come to an end, when you start getting scandals. And it's been ugly, whether it's what happened with John Gruden. You think he's the only person that sent emails around the National Football League? So where does that open up as far as race is concerned? What does it open up with concussions and things there could be a lot of skeletons in the closet, guys, that in this day and age you might not be able to necessarily get up from so easily.
And Don, you bring up a good point that, yes, they could survive Daniel Snyder not being an owner anymore and Jerry Jones not being an owner. If Daniel Snyder has multiple owners, dirt on multiple owners, how many owners can possibly get ousted all at once? There's not that many billionaires that are looking to buy NFL teams.
I mean, just think of the scandals, Michael, that recently we've had. We're just coming off a scandal with the Miami Dolphins. The games might have been thrown.
Right.
And it still might not be over, by the way.
And that's stuff that's leaked out. And the NFL's usually pretty buttoned up. I mean, so I love football. I don't want to see anything happen to it. But there's another side of me. It's just I'm dying to see what he has, if anything at all.
The one guy that's easily taken care of, if he has stuff on Goodell, the owners throw him overboard in a second. He has no equity in this.
Well, that's probably what would end up happening, is that he would take the fall.
Right.
And that anything that, let's say all 32 owners were involved in some major scandal that Roger Goodell's covering up, and that's the dirt he has on Goodell, well, then Goodell will probably take that to his grave and be the guy that said, all right, it was all me. They didn't know anything about it.
So that's a fantastic article with a lot more information than we gave here. You could find that on ESPN. And, guys, I know we're up against it here. I just wanted to bring up something I forwarded to you guys just about an hour ago. Bill Barnwell came out with an article, NFL trade deadline proposals for 2022, 15 offers for players. It's on ESPN Plus, and you might say, well, I don't have ESPN Plus. Well, first of all, why don't you? First of all, you can get the Disney bundle. That's a great deal. If you're like me and Don, love hockey. Every game out of market on Hulu, because you have ESPN Plus tied to your Hulu, tied to your Disney. It's fantastic. But there's two trades in there that involve the local teams. Maybe we can get into it on the other side here. One is the Bills get running back Saquon Barkley and a 2023 7th-round pick. We're still on this trading Barkley situation. And the Giants get running back Zach Moss, who's behind Devin Singletary right now in the Bills' backfield, and a 2023 2nd-round pick. So the Giants end up getting some draft capital and a running back, and maybe a change of scenery for Denzel Mims. Remember him? Haven't heard, hide, nor hear from him now. Of course, the Jets have been winning, but he hasn't been starting. He's been, we call it a healthy scratch in hockey, Don, but he hasn't been dressing on Sundays. The Ravens would end up getting Denzel Mims. The Jets get a 2024 conditional 7th-round pick.
Well, I mean, the Barkley deal, the only way the Giants can make that deal is if they don't have plans to franchise him.
Right.
And if they don't, and if they continue to win, I think it'd be awful to trade him.
Yes, Barnwell mentions that as well.
Yeah, the only way that happens, Michael, and I've thought about this too when we're talking about what's on the other side for both the Jets and the Giants. You know, when the Giants started 4-1 under Coughlin, that was the year that they went 5-4 and ended up pulling the plug on Warner and going to Eli. And they started 4-1 that year. You know, so now the trading deadline's coming up in a couple of weeks, so we're not going to be able to find out that quickly. But, you know, if things were to all of a sudden go haywire, you might rethink it. But right now, I'm not trading Barkley. Would you, Michael?
Nope.
You want to see this through as far as you can take it. And I can't imagine in a couple, 3 weeks, we're going to know definitively that this team can't at least sneak into the wild card as a third wild card team.
I mean, at 4-1, I don't think you trade anybody, unless it's a matter of making the team better. And certainly trading Saquon Barkley away does not make your team better. That will do it for ENN on this Thursday evening. Thank you.
I thought it was a good job.
Good.
Well, thank you, Michael.
Really?
Try my best.
How about that?
Better than Andrew. How about that?
No, absolutely not.
You're supposed to love Andrew, you said.
Just take the L.
Well, there's that rumor that they don't care for each other.
No, Andrew doesn't like Don.
Right. Why is that again?
Andrew,
I said already, Don, it was embarrassing. Don't scream at me on the show.
How about this? Better than Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Easy.
All right.
That's a good job by you. You know all the
Peter
numbers
does a
on the
fantastic
teams
job.
on Minnesota? You know all the numbers, Don?
Yeah. Got them right in front of me.
What about the Capitals?
I don't need the Capitals until later in the month. But, yeah, I'm ready.
Good. Who's the coach of Minnesota?
This is Gil.
Gil?
Mark Everson. Everson.
Didn't he used to write for the Post?
Everson. No.
Mark Everson used to write for the Post. I don't know if it's the same one.
That's not the same person.
Let's take a brief time out, then we'll take some of your phone calls. I'm looking forward to that. A lot of stuff on the plate. We've talked about a lot. Still people upset that the game was rained out tonight. I don't know why. Kay, LaGreco, Rosenberg, and you, and Pusick, too.
I got confused.
Dean Everson.
Yes. Everson.
So I think that was the dean of Temple University, too. Anyway, we'll come back right here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
Did you know Google makes a phone? Sure, it's beautiful, but it does things other phones can't do, which is how it helps take annoying items out of pictures. Introducing our newest Google Pixel phones. Get up to $750 off any Google Pixel 7 phone with eligible trade-in.
Rookie on rookie to pull up the three. Oh, my goodness. Curry can't it. Big time three. Harris is open. But they gave him a little daylight. Dynamite.
We have the drive, we have the motivation, and now it's just to act on it.
Hi, this is Aaron Judge, and I want to introduce you to my All Rise Foundation. Our mission is to inspire children and youth to become responsible citizens by engaging them in activities that encourage them to reach unlimited possibilities. We do this through our All Rise Pro Camps, through our Aspiring Leaders programs, and through many grant programs that provide $2,500 to organizations that support our youth's education, leadership skills, health, and well-being. Now I'm proud to share All Rise with New York City with our first All-Star Evening on November 18th. I hope you will join me and my foundation as we all rise to support youth in our community. Visit AaronJudgeAllRiseFoundation.org for more information.
Get trending with off-field fashion as designers from FIT style celebrities from the sports world and beyond. Off-field fashion, exclusively on the S app. A pinch of city celebrities.
Oh, yes.
A dash of saucy stories.
My t-shirt is full of sauce.
An infusion of iconic restaurants.
Here's the magic part.
Bake for 30 minutes and devour Home Plate New York. Stream a new episode with NYCFC stars now on the S app.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. One in 3 adults has prediabetes. And you could be one of them. There are usually no signs for prediabetes. So it's important to understand your risk. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Ow. Ding 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 ding.
Hey, big man.
Oh, hey.
Dave told me you got some kind of great system for betting that really works.
That's true.
What is it? Is it like home dogs? No. It's bird mascots.
No, I just use FanDuel's responsible gaming tools like time and spending limits to manage my play.
That's the system.
Hasn't failed me yet.
Cool. You know what, man? I'm just going to keep this between you and me.
It's not a secret, Bob.
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours. It's more fun that way.
10 years ago, we started Untuckit out of my apartment, and today we have more than 80 stores worldwide. It's been quite a journey. We didn't just create shirts designed to be worn untucked, we perfected them. With great fabrics and design at the perfect untucked length, so you can look sharp in this new business comfortable world. Just look for our signature sale. Untuckit, 10 years in the making, and we're nowhere close to stopping. Visit untuckit.com or your nearest store today.
With Drizzly, I can shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor. I just open the app, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes. Drizzly also lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
I have, over my 30 years, seen many patients who have excessive sweating. I recommend Carpe. It's a game changer.
Carpe is up to 3 times stronger than a regular strength antiperspirant. Try it today at mycarpe.com with limited time free shipping.
Hey everyone, I'm Ali Melendez. Join me for a brand new series, Well Life NYC, exclusively on the Yes app. We're taking a wellness journey to explore what New Yorkers are doing to be their happiest and healthiest selves. From workout classes, I feel good, I feel set up for success, to relaxation, to finding the proper balance. So fresh. Let's get well, New York. I am so excited to get into this. Let's do it. Woo! Stream new episodes of Well Life NYC now on the Yes app.
Now we're tied at 5 as we go to the bottom of the 11th. Here's Aaron Boone to lead off.
His first at-bat of the game. There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run. The Yankees go to the World Series for the 39th time in their remarkable history.
And Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store on nissanusa.com today. I wonder if Met fans were watching the Astros-Mariners game, top of the 8th inning, who they were rooting for. Rafael Montero, who was considered a bigger prospect than Jacob deGrom, was on the mound. And at the plate was Jared Kelenic, who they traded in the Edwin Diaz deal. Who would you be rooting for, Don? You want them both to fail?
Well, no, because I guess you don't. It doesn't bother you if Kelenic sounds so much better, by the way, but Kelenic because that guy Diaz. So the deal doesn't look that bad. Oh yeah, Cano didn't work out, but Diaz was tremendous. So I would go Kelenic.
Kelenic hit one to the warning track, and it was caught. So it's 3-2. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Astros lead. So we'll see what the Mariners could do in the top of the 9th inning. Otherwise, they go to Seattle down 2-0. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Akeem in Long Island. What's up, Akeem?
Hey guys,
how you doing?
Hey, all right. Hey, I called last night, and I just can't let this Donaldson thing go, man. Shout out to Don and everybody at the company. Let's not forget Brandy out there.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So the thing with Donaldson is, I was saying to you guys last night before I got cut off that if this was the times when the boss was still around, we was in this era when the boss was still around. Well, don't you think that the thing with the Donaldson with 3 times happening, that this will warrant, a call up to the office or even a visit? The boss will come down to the locker room. You can smell his aftershave on the way.
Here's what we're going to do. I think we're going to start this next year, Don, okay?
Yeah.
We are not going to play the what if George were alive thing. Let the man rest in peace.
Stop.
It's a completely different sport. It is. And you know what? The manager's saying the guy didn't do anything wrong. So George could come down and yell at whatever he wants to do, but we've got to stop the if George were alive game. He's not alive.
And also, when did Cano get called up?
He was on the 2009 team. I think he was on that team. No, I'll check right now.
Because I remember, I think it was before 2009 when there were questions about him busting it down the line when George was still around. Stop. Because there's two Georges, okay? Which George are you talking about? The George from 1978? Yeah, probably would tear him a new one and want him thrown off the team, and there'd be headlines in the Daily News and the Post the next day, I want Donaldson gone. But how would that kind of ownership play today?
I don't know if it would.
Nobody would want to play for this team. No, as good as the Yankees are, as rich as they are, nobody would want to tolerate that, being called out by the owner. No one. And he would have to adjust if he would want to be successful. He would have to.
He was called up in 2005.
Right, so you don't remember all the conversations we had during when he was a young kid? He was the #1 culprit. It looked like, because he was so fluid at second base, it looked like he wasn't trying. He didn't bust it down the first base line. Did George rip him? Do you remember? You would know.
No.
You know, so what George are you talking about? Because everybody wants to go back to the George in 1978. You know, what about the George before he passed away? What about the George in the 2000s? He was starting to probably make adjustments, or maybe he'd want to go crazy, and they would tell him, "Listen, don't go public. We want guys to be happy here." And they made the decision to go to Boone because they wanted somebody that was more of a player's manager. So, yeah, I'm with you, Michael. We got to stop it. What would George do?
Well, you know what we could do? Starting next season, anybody who says, what would George do, they're disconnected. Because it's a tired narrative. I'm sorry. We respect all of our listeners. He's not coming back.
But, you know, what would Ralph Houck do? Well, what would Vince Lombardi do?
I love that. What would Billy Martin do? He wouldn't have a job now.
Right. I mean, you want to go back to a time that no longer exists. And it wasn't like this happened yesterday, Michael. You want to go back 30, 40 years ago. The game is completely different. Now, am I saying it's better or worse? No, I'm just saying it's different. And what the Yankees are doing are no different than everybody else in baseball, whether it's coddling the players, being a little bit more in tune with the players, however you want to phrase it. Times are different. This militaristic, benching guys, going after him in the media, even the Bill Parcells days when he would call guys out in the media, like those days are over. You saw how Rivera got ripped for his calling out Wentz. I mean, it doesn't get received. Now it's a negative. People are ripping Rivera. Nobody's applauding Rivera for it. They're ripping him for it.
And the only reason Bill Belichick gets away with it is because he has 6 rings. Yeah. That's the only reason. Bill Belichick can't work now. Football coaches are a little tougher than every other sport, but that militaristic, no, he can't do it.
But George, that's where George got it, right? George was always a football guy,
right?
And he wanted to run his baseball team like a football team, and that was 40 years ago, where that was looked upon as a positive. I don't think it's a positive anymore.
Let's go to Eddie and Bethpage. Eddie,
how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I'm good, except I think everybody's blaming the wrong guy here. The guy who's culpable for all of this is the first base coach. What is his job? He's out there, serving cake and coffee? His job is to watch the game, be on top of the game, and he's waving Donaldson around, giving him high fives. That's the guy that should be held culpable for all of it, in my opinion. What do you think?
You're not wrong. That's a good point. And the fact that Boone brought it up, Eddie, you know, he said that, you know, Travis Chapman, who's done a good job this year, Travis Chapman has, you know, is also part of the blame. And if he wasn't thrown out at first base, he probably would have been out because the coach cannot touch a player in play when the ball's in play. By the way, they just intentionally walked Yordan Alvarez, put runners on first and second and 2 outs, and Bregman made them pay and singled in a run. So now it's 4-2. That's how you get around your star getting walked. The guy behind him has to deliver. And that's what Bregman just did.
But he's right, Michael. The first base coach doesn't have a lot to do because the play's in front of the runner.
Right.
For the most part. But you're supposed to, I guess, help out. You know, but I guess he was taking a cue from Donaldson. All right, Donaldson knows it's gone. I'm just going to celebrate with him. I think everybody got fooled. But he's right. Now, whether he's completely to blame, but he certainly didn't help the situation.
Let's go to Gabriel in Yonkers. Gabriel.
Yes. Hi, gentlemen. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
All righty. Yeah, I'm calling about this Josh Donaldson issue, too. And I understand the whole thing with the first base coach. And, yes, definitely part to blame. But is there a pattern here? Because, he did it twice before. That whole situation with Tim Anderson, I mean, is he just like his attitude? Does he mouth off too much? This whole styling thing? I wish the guys would just take the game a little more serious. They're going to get burned in the playoffs if they mess around like this. They won the game, but what happens when later on in a crucial situation where that out loses you the game?
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? I don't know if you heard him. You could hear it on the podcast. We talked to Boone about it at length, and he said it's not like the two things that happened in the regular season. But also, to be honest, I mean, was that really addressed? He stayed in the game. He wasn't taken out of the game. He went into a home run trot, taking the ball, and it hit the wall. So I think the guy plays hard. I know he wants to win. I know he plays hard. But that's not what we're saying. We're not saying that he's a laggard. We're not saying that he's a bum. We're not saying that he's lazy. None of that. He's prioritizing swag over what's the right thing to do for the team. Now, you mentioned the Tim Anderson stuff. They brought Josh Donaldson in, by the way. Little dirty secret, because of his attitude, because he's an irritant. They felt that the clubhouse needed that.
But both could be true, Michael, where you are a hustler, but the styling gets in the way.
Right.
And the defense of, well, he hustles, that doesn't matter. Like if I fail the test, and it's like, well, no, don't give him an F. He studied. All right, well, we're not saying he didn't try, but he still failed. A mistake was still made that cost him an out. And, Michael, if that had been a celebratory home run trot in a 1-1 tie where he thought he won the game, guess what? Game's still going on. You just got thrown out. It's all different when you win the game and it didn't matter. At the time, you didn't know, but after, if that cost you a game, was it worth it?
And I want to tell everybody out there, because sometimes people hear what they want to hear. What we're saying is, do whatever you want. Like, if you hit a ball like Alvarez hit the other day, you can do cartwheels around the bases. I'm not against celebrating by any stretch of the imagination. But if you hit a maybe, if that ball would have been a home run, StatCast has a thing. Where else in baseball would that have been a home run? Nowhere else. So it would have been a porch job at Yankee Stadium. There's not another stadium in baseball where that would have been a home run. So it's not like it was so clear cut that you could. I don't know why the lights went out at the stadium. I don't know why Travis Chapman, gave him 5 coming around. I don't know any of that. Right. I'm just saying that it wasn't an Alvarez home run or like Rizzo's home run done. That was in the second deck. Right. You could stand there and look at it and flip the bat, whatever. You knew it's gone. But something that's close, it makes no sense. Run it out until you know for sure.
If you err on the side of caution, Michael, none of it would have happened. First base coach, the lights going out, all of it wouldn't have mattered.
Right. Absolutely. Dan Grasso has a very short show today.
But an important one.
Just a half hour.
I'm a big boy.
So we'll have him for a couple of minutes, though. Just so he can tell us exactly what's going on in that half hour. So stick around. Kayla Greco, Rosenberg, and you here on Yes and 98.7 ESPN.
Some people like to talk into microphones. We prefer dropping them. The MDX, a new era of premium performance.
Visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
At DraftKings Casino, we give credit where credit is due, in the form of credit. Sign up with DraftKings Casino and get up to $50 in free credits when you deposit $25. That's like extra credit. Download the DraftKings Casino app or play online today. Deposit $25 and get up to $50 in free credits to use on any game. Now, roll credits.
Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly. Ding dong, Drizzly.
High school football is now on the Yes app.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Watch as the best teams in New York battle it out on the gridiron. Catch the action tomorrow at 7, streaming live on the Yes app.
Do you want to meet a family with a transgender kid? Here we are. We love our kids unconditionally, and we will never stop fighting for them. Stand with us. Protect our families.
The Yankees Division Series continues, and Yes is your home field advantage with extensive coverage from the network that knows the Bombers best. Pre-game, post-game, around every game.
11 wins seals the deal.
ALDS Game 2 pre-game starts tomorrow at noon on Yes and the Yes app.
Ukraine remains under attack. Millions of people have fled, creating the fastest-growing refugee crisis in modern history. Children and families are seeking safety. AmeriCares is responding with critical medicine and supplies, and we're working alongside local partners to get aid where it's most needed. For more than 40 years, AmeriCares has met health needs after natural disasters and in humanitarian crises. We know health is essential for everyone's future. Now AmeriCares is protecting the health of children and adults caught in this terrible crisis. In Ukraine and in the surrounding countries, there is a critical need for medicines, medical supplies, and ongoing health care. So let's work together. Together, we can improve health. Together, we can save lives. Learn how at americares.org/help Ukraine.
Aaron Judge has broken the league record for most home runs in a season. In over 150 years of baseball history, this record stands alone. To honor Judge, BigTimeBats.com is proud to release the official Aaron Judge Home Run Record Collection. The stunning Home Run Record Silver Chrome Bat is limited to only 500 bats. Also available are the traditional Maple Wood Bat and the two-tone High Gloss Extremum Bat. Go to BigTimeBats.com and get your part of baseball history now.
This is the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder and Rogue. With a range of drive modes and intelligent off-road technology, you can take a Sunday stroll in the least basic of places. The 2023 Nissan family of SUVs. Anything but basic.
Get a low $299 per month lease on Murano, or get no payments for 90 days on select vehicles.
Looks like it's going to be Mo Greatness coming into the Yankee game for the final time here in the Bronx. And he is very simply the greatest who has ever done this job. And we have had the privilege of watching him all these years. How's this for drama? The son of a fisherman from Panama came up playing catch with a milk carton as a glove, began as a starter, somehow developed a cutter, and achieved greatness on the top line of most history books when it comes to closers and pitchers in general. A joy to cover, a joy to watch pitch.
It means a lot to me. I mean, these fans are the best of the world. And they came here to support, and I definitely appreciate that. And I love you guys. Thank you very much.
Right now, families all across New Jersey are struggling with hunger, and their financial futures remain uncertain. You can be the hope for our hungry neighbors in need in a time when that need is still so great. The Community Food Bank of New Jersey, the state's largest anti-hunger, anti-poverty organization, is filling the emptiness caused by hunger with food, help, and hope. Go to cfbnj.org now to join us.
If you're like me, you'd rather talk about basketball or anything other than prostate cancer. But we can't be silent when it comes to our own health. Prostate cancer affects 1 in 8 men in the U.S. I beat it because I was screened and it was detected early. Prostate cancer is often passed on through families. The NBA and the Prostate Cancer Foundation are asking you and your loved ones to know your risks and get screened. Go to pcf.org/getscreened to learn more.
Presley, and he hits an absolute P right at the first baseman. Double play, 2 outs, so 1 out away. That's tough. That is tough.
Blow 2 leads.
Yeah.
They're going home, but they had to take at least one of those games in Houston if I think they had any shot. So
let's bring in Danny Gross. I like to call him Danny, Don. I know you don't.
I've never. No, I don't think he likes it.
What do you call him, my friend?
Dan.
He said that. I asked him yesterday. Dan, you said I could call you Danny, right?
He's my friend. Yeah, I'm neutral on the whole thing. I'm like Switzerland.
There you go. Maybe I'll call you Switzerland. What do you have planned for this half-hour bacchanal? I mean, how do you put together a show like this?
This is the Truman Show. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. That's about it. You have 30 minutes to maybe get all that in, and that's it. But, yeah, I mean, we're getting answers today. Like you guys were talking about the Seattle thing just now. Like, I was curious to see how they'd get off the mat after blowing that game 1, which was just awful. And when you consider the fact that Houston's beaten them now there, I think 32 of the last 39 times. If you're Seattle, even if you get back there for a game 5, are you confident that you're going to be able to win that game? That was a brutal game the other day.
Yeah, I'll also tell you this, Dan. I don't know if you agree. I think the Astros could be a problem for the Dodgers. I think they could beat the Dodgers.
They're tested. Yeah. They're battle tested this time. 100%.
They certainly are.
100%. And look, I'm really curious to see Verlander's next start, because if he bombs again, then you start to think, well, maybe he's worn down, throwing this many innings, a long season after the Tommy John surgery, despite how brilliant he was during the year. But, hey, we saw it happen to Max Scherzer, and he's not coming off of Tommy John. You're 40 years old. Eventually, these long seasons, all this workload is going to catch up to you.
Julio Rodriguez just doubled, so it wasn't Julio that hit into the double play. He was on deck. So he's kept the game alive with a double to left center in Houston. So there's a runner on second, 2 men out. You're going to really be able to break this down on the big show.
A lot of people are. Don, how's Minnesota, by the way? Is it a quality complex over there?
Oh, very nice building. Very, very nice. They got all the high school jerseys around the concourse. This is a nice place. It's a very, very nice building.
Yeah, they tried to rip off that in Newark, too. But, I guess it kind of works.
Ty France at the plate now, 20 home runs, 83 ribbies.
Very good hitter.
Facing Ryan Presley, no relation.
No. Ryan Presley, damn good this year. Damn good.
Now,
out of that bullpen.
Do you agree with what I was saying earlier? You probably weren't listening, preparing for the show, but I think this is the Jets' first real test, because if you look at the first 5 games they play, they haven't faced a real quarterback.
Yeah, I know that's kind of like been the narrative around, that people want to like throw water on the 3-2 start, because 3-2 is 3-2. I counter that with this, Michael. The Jets are 2-0 in games started by their own starting quarterback.
That's a good way to look at it. I agree.
Right. So, and it's funny. I did a hit today on radio in Milwaukee. Obviously like the Packer audience. And I kid you not, there was actually one of the hosts who actually said that the Jets are better than the Packers.
What?
So, I'm just repeating what was said. So, they're probably just more down on the Packers over there than anything else. And they also said, we'll take your wide receiver core, meaning the Jets, straight up for ours. I said, well, no, thank you.
No, the quarterback, I know he might be on the back end, but he's still very good. And I thought Steve Young put it very well. Like you look at teams like this matchup and say, boy, it really stinks. Even Coach Saleh said it, that the Packers are coming off a loss. And the way Steve put it is, when you're a team that's been there and done that, and they've a lot of playoff experience, those are the teams that are dangerous after a really disappointing game. I mean, they had a 17-3 lead and a 20-10 lead against the Giants. It wasn't that the Giants beat them. It was the fact the Giants came from behind with no weapons on offense. That was a tough loss. So that's either just they were sleepwalking, or this isn't the same Packer team. And it seems like in Green Bay, maybe they're erring on the side, and maybe it's just not the same team.
Well, remember the week before that, guys. I mean, the Patriots went into Lambeau with Bailey Zappi, a third-string rookie, and took him to overtime. You know what I mean? So maybe this is a little bit of different of a Packer group. And, look, I don't know if it's a statement win necessarily, because, again, I think it's reflective more on Green Bay. But if the Jets win this game, maybe they start to get some more praise nationally as opposed to the people like us who see them each and every day.
It may not be the same team. Lambeau, it's a tough spot for the Jets. It is. And I don't think – you don't want to get blown out, but I think there can be something that can be taken away from a hard-fought loss in this. So I know there are no style points, but still – Lambeau Field's a tough place to play.
Ty France struck out. The game is over, so Houston wins 4-2. They're up 2-0 heading to Seattle.
Yeah, that series is over. No, but I think that there is also some of that pessimism that exists, and I think that an observer would look at this as Packers are going to win this week, and it's going to be their quote-unquote get-right game at the expense of the Jets, right?
Well, that's the feel. Although you're surprised the spread's only 7.5.
I am, actually.
So we know.
I am in the sense I think it's too big.
Really?
You think it's too big?
Oh, yeah. Too big.
Oh, stop.
Pick them. Packers, like I've watched. The Packers are not the same. I mean, the run game is what has made that offense go this year to the extent that it's gone. Rodgers is having a hard time connecting with this new crop of wide receivers. I know Randall Cobb is there, but Randall Cobb is like 58 years old. No offense to him.
Is he that old? I didn't realize he was that old.
I believe so. I think he's using the
It's a very
Geritol,
underrated
rubs
story.
It, he gets out there. Yeah. They keep him
How
healthy.
do you handicap tonight's game? I know that's a big one.
I think you just watch something else, to be honest.
That's how you handicap it by not watching
it. You want some. I mean, Chicago. Both teams are no good, but Chicago is the lesser of the two evils. I mean, like the Ron Rivera stuff to me this week put it over the top, and you just blow up the whole shit down there in Washington.
NFL gets all the breaks. They get a repugnant game on Thursday and no competition.
All right,
because the Yankees get
let
rained
me give
down.
you the lay of the land, everybody. All right, here's how it happens. Tomorrow we're on at 3. The game starts at 1:07. We will break down in real time the game. At the beginning of the show, we'll be on Yes and on radio. Then when the Yes postgame comes on, well, it'll just be on radio. And then when it's off, we'll come back on Yes. So it's kind of like a sandwich show. Don, have a great time in Minnesota. Dan, have a wonderful, wonderful time on the half-hour show.
That's a wrap on the show for today. Coming up next, Yankees Magazine. For all of us here on The Michael Kay Show, this is Chris Sheard saying have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. The Michael Kay Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues It's up to you, New York, New York. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. In a city that never sleeps and find I'm a number one, top of the list, king of the hill, a number one. These little town blues, it's up to you, New York, New York, New Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues that never sleeps. And while I'm a number one, top of the list, king of the hill, a number one. These little town blues are melting away. I'm gonna make a brand new start of it in old New York. And if I can make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to